Good morning.
Sorry, I was on mute. Good morning.
I was like, oh my goodness, is my sound not working?
Good morning.
Morning. I forget to take myself off mute.
Morning.
Oh, good. I'm glad to see I'm not the only one in this group. Yay.
Hey.
It's a good group to be in because it really just helps get you set up. At least one of your courses will be all the way set up. So then if you're self-contained, you'll have to do it for each course, but at least you'll have one completely done. So that'll be good.
Thank you.
We have 4 more minutes, so we'll just wait and see if anyone else joins. If y'all just want to put your name in the chat so that we can use it to turn it in for our attendance.
Brandy, were we supposed to check in remotely?
Okay, so yes, but a lot of people were having problems.
Yes.
So all of the check-ins for district-wide are going to be open for 10 extra days. And so on our campus days, we're going to go over how to get logged in and how to find the PD and then how to check in. So if you didn't do it, don't worry about it. And if you want to wait until we do our campus PD days and then I can walk you guys through it, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yay. Yes, the OmniTrack, I don't know if you got logged in or not, but you almost have to trick it. Like you have to tell it you don't know your password and then it kind of lets you in. We had a lot of problems with it when they were training ITs last week on how to use it, and none of us could get in at first. So that's why they went ahead and extended that so that we can train you guys on our days to get logged in. And I've had a couple different people ask me if you can attend more than one of the sessions, and you can attend all 3 if you want. And then they will also be recorded. And then for any reason, if there's one that you wanted to attend to this morning, but you can't, I'm actually giving the training for Smith Elementary also. And so if you wanted to join one, you can always let me know and I will send you the Zoom link for that campus.
Brandy, you just said something about OmniTrack. Did we have to do OmniTrack for this one as well?
You will, but you don't have to do it yet. If you know how to use OmniTrack and you know how to check in, you can, or you can wait on one of the sessions that we're doing on Monday or Tuesday. We're still kind of changing some things because we just keep getting more information from the district, but we're going to go over OmniTrack and we're going to go step by step on how to check in. And so the district is leaving everything for district-wide open for an extra 10 days. So if you haven't checked in yet, it's not like it's going to be too late or anything. Have you been able to get in to OmniTrack?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good.
But I didn't sign up in OmniTrack for this session.
And that's okay. So for our district days, I created the sign up for our campus-based days, but the district created the one for this. And so I haven't even gone in to see what they've called it or anything.
Okay.
I'll make a list before on whichever day, Monday or Tuesday, we go over it. And I'll have a list of what everyone was supposed to be signed in as or signed in for, and we'll make sure that everyone is good to go.
I just checked mine, and on my Java, like it says sign in missing.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it says attendance status sign in missing, evaluation status can't evaluate.
See, and those ones are coming from the technology team, so I don't know. Well, but no matter what, we're signing in here, and these are recorded, so everyone's gonna get credit. So we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so it's 8:30 and I don't want us to run out of time because since I'm doing 2 campuses, I'm a little bit squeezed in. So I want to get us started, and let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, so let me get you guys situated so I can still see you. All right, so we're going to be going through this Google Slides, and at the same time, we're going to be going into our Canvas course. And they want you working in a live course. So I think most of you already have students assigned to you, which means that your tiles have been pushed out. Does everyone have a tile that they can work in? Summer, you might need to work in your sandbox, right? Because or if you're going to create a reading intervention course for your students, you could work in that. It's up to you.
I already created the reading intervention course.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, that's what you'll work in. And then that way, by the time that we leave today, at least one of your courses will be completely set up and published. Okay. So this is me. I'm Brandy Shattuck. I am y'all's new ITA. Every other campus, it's like they already know they're super users. That was the whole idea behind this, and you guys don't know me that well yet, but I promise you, and you're in good hands. I've been a Canvas super user since we rolled it out, and so I'm very familiar with it, and I have lots of different tricks and stuff to make it easier than I think sometimes they present it to the whole district, so that's good. Our norms for the meeting is that when needed, mute yourself. We already signed into the chat box. Make sure that your camera is on unless you need to take a break. And if you have any questions, to put them in the chat box. And I'm going to do my best to monitor the chat box and present. And it gets a little tricky. So if y'all have a lot of questions, please don't hesitate just to shout out if I'm not seeing the chat. Okay. You're not going to offend me or hurt my feelings. I want to make sure you guys are really, really good to go. Okay, so we're going to play a little game. And it's not, I guess it's a game. It's a icebreaker, if you will. And so I'm going to say a question. And if it applies to you, then you're going to put, "That's me," in the chat. Okay? Let me get it pulled up. Okay, did you watch a good movie over this COVID break? And if you did, you'll put, "That's me." Can you guys see the chat?
I didn't watch any good movies, but I saw good series on Netflix.
Oh, Robin's trying to get in. Let me there. Huh. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay. Yay. Okay, so Laura, what movie did you watch?
I watched The Banker.
Oh, is that good?
It's very good. You'll enjoy it.
Oh, I'll have to watch that. I've got 2 babies, so like it's like 1 hour a day after they're asleep is when I should watch something. What about Lydia? What did you watch?
I watched a movie called Braven.
Oh, was that good?
I liked it.
I'm like, yeah, or some of you, I didn't watch anything good, but so our next question is, did anybody read an awesome book? Summer, what did you read?
It's called The Dancing Girls. It's based on a detective, and it's kind of about serial killer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed with that ID channel.
Oh, yes. Oh, my.
I was like, are you trying to come up with ideas to get rid of me? I'm nervous. Brenda, what
Yes.
did you read?
So I read two. I read A Danger to Herself and Others, and I also read The Night Olivia Fell, and they were both super, super good.
I'm so proud of you guys for reading. I did not read anything for pleasure. I probably read 50 articles for school, but nothing just for fun. Did anybody learn anything new this summer? Oh, Rachel, what'd you learn?
I learned that I'm not cut out to be a housewife after all.
Right.
I cannot stay home, and there's only so much you can clean. And as soon
Right.
as I clean it, we don't have any kids yet, but my husband is pretty much a big kid and just leaves everything. And I think that's caused more arguments since March than it ever has when we both were out of the house.
I hear you.
I had to
George,
put him in timeout.
George, what did you learn?
I've been reading up on all the TEA mandates and differences and reentry plans, and I've been reading a lot of articles on physical education and how being physically active and how it works with COVID. And I've just been kind of like you, what you said, just a lot of articles and how we're going to be doing things in public education.
Yeah, very interesting, right? A lot of different opinions out there on that.
And that's the problem. There's
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
the
opinions.
problem.
I need to know facts. I need to know what to do. And right now, there's just not a lot of consensus. So CDC it is.
It's coming it seems like every hour. Poor Kathy, every hour I feel like she gets another email to do another meeting to get more information. And so we're just trying to, I don't know, it's all so confusing.
Yeah, Mike Morath is changing his mind a lot.
I know, and I know that they're so anxious to get back, right, and get back to being able to be active with each other, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Rachel, I'm like you. I learned not about being a housewife, but I have never had more appreciation for kindergarten teachers. I had to do my son's, he goes to St. James. He was in pre-K 4, but so doing his distance learning and getting him in front of the computer to do his Zoom meetings and stuff like that. I think that the kinder teachers should get like a raise. I've got a lot of empathy for you guys. Did anybody attend the Tech to Teach event? Yeah. Did anybody take a class that they were just like really learned a lot, or that you thought they did a great job, or did you feel like overwhelmed? Lydia, what class did you like?
I took the course with Melissa. I can't remember the name of it. And I also took one on Google Tips and Help. And I learned a couple of neat little, just tips in Google that I had no idea about. So one of them was, when you open up your Google page, you can have like several pages open at once, like Portal or your email, and they just one click and it's all there. So
that's awesome. Have you seen where you can have Google open and it'll display what you're saying across?
No.
I'll have to ask my principal how to do that, but I forgot. But he would do it during staff meetings and on a smart TV, and it was so powerful because you're really I don't know why, but you're really reading everything he was saying. We're really taking it in. That was an interesting thing that I need to go back and figure out how to do that.
Neat.
Okay, and are you guys tired this morning? Is our last question. Yeah, my copy too. Trust me. It's like, and not only tired, but how about tired of having trainings in front of the computer, right? I mean, my neck is like trying to lock up from just staring at this computer screen for so long. I never realized how uncomfortable it is. Rachel, the other morning or the other day in our training, you said you now you know you would never want a desk job, right? I could never have a desk job. I could never just sit in an office all day. Like, I'm so used to being on my feet and walking around. Like, this has been just crazy.
I've never had restless leg syndrome, and I feel like that's all I've had since last week.
Yeah, I told my husband, I said, I've got to find a different chair, especially if this is going to go on longer than 3 weeks. Like, we're going to have to do something different because this isn't working out for me. So, well, hopefully this training won't be like the other ones. It's going to be pretty painless. We're going to go as fast or slow as you guys want. And like I said, if we don't get to all of the tasks for the apprentice level, we can always do a follow-up training. That doesn't have to be today, and it doesn't have to, everybody, it can be one-on-one or whatever you guys need. So here's the 2020-21 Canvas teacher checklist. So the goal is to have you all have all of this complete right here. Of course, there's some optional things at the bottom, but this is what they really want everybody to be having achieved by the end of today. You guys already did the survey. And so how today is going to work is right now I'm with you guys, and then after we're done, you should have joined the Blended Learning 2.0 Woodlawn course, and you will work through it. The course is set up that there are activities to do, but they're differentiated. So you'll do the apprentice activities, and then it should work out that your time with me plus the time it takes you to do the Canvas course is going to equal your 3.5 hours of PD. And so there's 3 levels that you're going to work through. It's basically 3 modules that you will work through once you get into that course. If you haven't seen it yet, they're going to talk about equitable access, differentiated instruction, and accountability and feedback. So each module will have videos from our IT department. They have videos and articles to read, and then there will be a activity that you complete and turn in as an assignment. One new feature that I think is awesome that they did this year with Canvas is that you can see all of your courses. So even your courses from the past, which used to be as soon as your kids were off your Teacher Access Center, once they were transferred to a new teacher, that course would go away, and then everything you had done and worked on and built in that course was gone. Now you're going to be able to access them. They'll be at the very bottom of your Canvas page from your dashboard. Man, my thing is just like too fast. So the rich content editor, and we're going to work with this a little bit today, has been updated. It's got a lot of new features. You can record and just your voice or a video. You can embed different activities or videos. You can embed YouTube videos, all right from here. You don't have to leave. So you can type the instructions, you can record a video, and then you can embed a video. And so you're not having to add extra pages to complete just one task. The other thing that we're going to be really focusing on, not so much today, but we are going to work with this during our Canvas days, is the new analytics. It's super easy to use, and it gives you so much information, and it's just right there, one click. So when you go into the new analytics, you'll be able to see how often and for how long your students have logged onto your course. and also what pages they accessed and how long they accessed those pages. You'll also be able to see on average, like, what's the average time my whole class spends? What's the average time they spent on this activity? And so then if you have somebody that's really high or really low, you know, you'll be able to go in and investigate. So this will be a great way for us to do attendance. So by the, you know, midweek, if you haven't had, if you can go look at this really quick and see, you know, Susie has not logged in. I need to contact her parents right away. This is going to be a really, really helpful feature. This is how the district is also going to justify our blended learning time to TEA. So they are going to be turning this in to prove that we are working with our students that I think it's 180 minutes a day. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. And so this is just a different view. So you can see that here's the average page views for a course. And then this is the average participation. And then it also will show their grades. Now, this isn't going to be like your grade that you're necessarily going to put in the grade book, but you can see how they are progressing through the activities that you're assigning them. Some of these you can take for a grade and put in a grade book, but of course we're still using Teacher Access Center for grades. But it's right there for you. It grades it, and then I think it might make your life a little bit easier. Okay, so now we're going to get into your guys' specific apprentice level training. Our goals for you guys today is to make sure that you're really comfortable navigating Canvas. We're going to customize your teacher information, your profile, your bio, and your course description. Also, make sure that all of your notification settings are set to the correct thing. And then we're going to go ahead and create one module and an activity just to get practice and become more familiar with doing that. So if you don't already have it bookmarked, you can always go to our school's page. So ours is woodlawn.ccisd.us. And the Canvas button is right there. It's in the exact same place on every Canvas's website. So it's really easy to get there. So one of the first things that we're going to do is set our notifications. So these are the notifications that the district thinks you need to have set in order to be successful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Canvas so I can walk you guys through this, but I'm still going to have this showing on half my screen. And if you guys want to do it right along with me, that's great. If you want to take down notes and do it after, that's fine too. I want you to do whatever's going to be, you're going to be most comfortable doing, okay? And so I created just a brand new course so that it's going to be just as empty as yours. So that everything that you do today, I will be doing just for the first time in this course also. Oh, I'm sorry. So, but you're going to go to your profile, which is where your picture is right here. Of course, on the day of my training, my internet is slow. And then you're going to go to settings. Hold on, I'm sorry. I feel like I didn't click it right. Hold on. Why is it not working? Right here, sorry. Notifications. Sorry, I'm having like a brain fart. So once you have your notifications open, it looks like this. So some of you might not have a Twitter attached to yours. I don't have anything going to my Twitter. And then if you have the app, that's where these push notifications are. So if, for example, I was the IT chair last year, so I was a student in their course, and they would push out notifications to us when there was something they expected us to do for the IT chair. But you don't have to have any of these checked, okay? But no matter what, the ones that they're expecting us to do are going to be here under our email. And those are the ones that you'll get notified by. So the ones that we want under course activities, we want to have your due date checked, your announcements checked, your announcements created by you checked, and your submissions comments checked. Okay, and then you'll scroll down. When you get to the scheduling, they want to make sure that your calendar is checked. If you have a bunch of other things checked, you can feel free to take them off. If there's something that you're like, man, I kind of want to keep that, it's up to you. You know, but these are the ones that at minimum they think that you need to be successful. And I'll go through the list again, okay? So the first section is under course activities. It's at the top. So you're gonna have the due date checked, the announcements checked, it's right here. The announcements created by you. And then all the way down here in the same section, the submissions comments. Then under the next title, scheduling, they want you to have the calendar checked. And then this bottom section here, alerts, they want you to have the global announcements checked. And so the global announcements, that's like how when you sign on to Canvas right now, it has that big box at the top from Carrie and it says, thanks for attending Tech to Teach. Those are the global announcements. And so they want you to be aware if they push out something there because it means it's really important. Okay, is everyone okay with that? And I can move on, or do you want me to do it one more time? You're good, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to I know sometimes when the presenters are moving things around, it makes me feel a little dizzy. I'm trying to move it as little as possible. So those are the notifications. Oh, I forgot to tell you one. You don't have to have this one. Administrative notifications, you can put an X on that. If you get those annoying emails that have like, where I used to have this checked, I would get an email every night, every time the district added a new user. It would tell me the names of all of the people that had joined Canvas. And so if you're getting these unnecessary emails, that's why, is because you have that administrative notification checked and it doesn't need to be. Okay. So we're gonna talk about the navigation toolbar, and I'll bring mine right here so that you can see as I'm going through them. So under the account is where you'll find your, like I said, we just did that, your notifications. This is also where you'll edit your profile picture. And I like to put my bio in my profile. That way it's always there. And each year, all I have to do is go copy and paste it into all my different syllabuses or syllabi. Your dashboard is where you can see all your courses. Also, that's where, when you're on your dashboard, on the right-hand side of the screen is where you'll see if you have activities that you're supposed to complete. You can use the menu to change it if you like your courses in a list view, or if you like it how it's automatically set like the tiles. Your courses are all going to be available now, whether they are published or unpublished, so you'll still have your past course information. You have your calendar, which can be customized by the week, by the month, or by your agenda. It's up to you. Your inbox is where you'll get messages from the district, from students and parents. Commons is where you can find pre-made modules, pages, discussions, and assignments. My one recommendation about Commons is just make sure that you really read it before you import something. When I first got trained in Canvas, I accidentally imported a course, which I didn't realize, and it erased everything I had worked on. It changed it to whoever submitted that. It was their picture, their profile, their syllabus. And so just make sure when you're importing that you know exactly what's going to come across. The backpack is where students have access to Rapid Identity. So do you. And so if you just wanted to just quickly access Rapid Identity, you click the backpack and there you go, you'll be logged in. We have the curriculum is obviously where you're going to get the IGs. And then the help, our district pays for you to be able to live chat someone from Canvas at any time. I actually had to use this feature yesterday to help somebody that for some reason their Google wasn't linking correctly to Canvas and our IT department couldn't figure it out. So we used the chat feature and they remoted in and looked at what was going on and were able to help this. And I am going to share the presentation and you'll actually get all 3 levels of the presentation because I'm going to keep recording straight through. So you'll have all the information that I go over today. And then this back button, it taught this, if you don't want this, right, obviously I'm reaching like you could see. If you don't want to see this right here, you would hit the back button and it hides it for you, okay? And then you can bring it back out and then you have their names. So again, the instructional guides will be found under the CCISD curriculum. And then we have the Canvas help. The Canvas help, you can do a couple different things. There's videos, there's how-to guides, there's the chat, and then there's also training courses that you can work through. They're self-paced, and when you're done, they do a little check for understanding quiz, and then they send you Canvas badges achievement badges that you've earned. Of course, you can always talk to your IT specialist. Ours is Melissa, and then you have an IT chairperson on our campus, and then there's always me. And please always reach out. Don't hesitate. So there is a little bit of change when you first sign on to your dashboard. Like I said, we used to not have this feature, so now your published courses will be listed at the top. All of your unpublished courses will be listed at the bottom. We need to make sure that we're publishing the courses because if it's not published, the kids can't see it. I think we already talked about this. I don't think anybody needs a sandbox or needs to create a course today to work today, but if you did, it would be right here on your dashboard, create a new course. And all of our courses, because we're elementary, are live for the full year. Some of the secondary courses would say here at the bottom, let me move that so you can see. Oh, some of them would say half year instead of the 2021 full year. So the other thing that's new is that we talked about are the new analytics, and this is how we are going to show our students how we're going to hold them accountable, how the district is proving that we're holding them accountable, and this is actually how we are going to prove our accountability to admin as well. So they will be able to see how often you log in, just the way that you're able to see how often your students log in. And so for that blended learning course, the technology team will be able to see how much time that you spent in their course. Okay, so these are going to be the things that are required in your module per the district. And it's the same thing that it's been for the past 2 years. They have it, their little acronym is HISAM, I think. And so it's home, which we are going to make your syllabus page, and we're going to do all of this together in a second. Your syllabus, which will include all of these items. You're going to have a teacher profile picture, your name, email, school phone number, a conference time, a biography, and a course description. So one thing that's going to be different this year is that the syllabus is going to be your public facing web page that's found in the school directory. I don't know if you remember how it used to be. We had our school website, and then you could go click on the teacher's name and it took them to the teacher's little web page, and that's where you put all your information. Well, now if anybody goes to the like woodlawn.ccisd.us website and they click on your name, your syllabus is going to pop up whether they have an account with Canvas or not. This is going to be our web page, our teacher web page. So it needs to have all of these items. And just to make sure you're conscious of what you're putting on there, since it is going to be the public facing page for you. The announcements will be visible so that you can send announcements out to your students, and then the modules, because that's how your students are going to be working through Canvas. So like we said, the syllabus page is going to have these items. And what I like to do is I have always done this under my profile so that way you can copy and paste it. But if you're self-contained and you have to do multiple tiles after, or multiple courses, after we complete this today, you can go and copy and paste it in your other courses, just to make sure that you update the course description to match whatever class it's for, because you don't want your math course to talk about ELAR. And then we're going to practice running the accessibility checker to make sure that everything that you've put in there is going to be viewable to your students no matter what device they're on. This is a great feature because some of us have been building the Bitmoji classrooms and making different videos, and this accessibility checker will make sure that even if they're on a phone or a tablet, that whatever you're putting in the course, the students are going to be able to see and access. So they have provided a few of what they think are exemplary examples of syllabus. And you can see that they have their name, their room number, their phone number, their email. This one, their biography and course description. On this course, if you clicked here, it would take them straight to their modules. This is a teacher at Hicks. This is for her math course. So this teacher linked in so that they would go directly to their modules for that grading period. Okay, so we're gonna have you make yours now. Just remember that next, if you already had created a biography and it's in a syllabus for one of your last year's courses, you can now access that. So if you wanted to copy and paste it, you could. But this is the general format that you need to have. So I'm gonna take this away and go to Canvas so that you can see where it's gonna go. And then I'll pull this back up so that you'll be able to see what you need. So I'm gonna go back to my dashboard. And I have a lot of tiles. And I'm gonna find the one that I created for us to work in today. And then right here, it's my syllabus is what I'm going to be working on. And luckily that's already what is pulled up. And then I'm gonna click edit. Once you click edit, it's just going really slow, I'm sorry. Your rich content editor is going to come up. And so this is where you can type you can adjust your fonts. If you wanted to, instead of having a photo, you could record a video of yourself saying, "Hi, this is Mrs. Shattuck, your third grade teacher. Welcome to the course." You would click this little button right here and it would automatically embed your video. You can also do that and it will embed your voice if you don't want a video. So if you just wanted it to read what you have written, that's an option.
Brandy,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. No, do it.
When I took the course with Melissa earlier this week, we had to go in and actually slide a button to make the new rich content come up.
That's because it hadn't rolled out yet.
Oh, okay. But it's already rolled out.
It's rolled out now. So it should open up. So mine is the new one. So it should open up automatically. But there was a date that happened, and I believe that it might have been Monday.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
If it doesn't, I hope that that's not the case for anyone here, because I don't know how to do that.
I do, so if they need help.
So if you don't see this when you hit edit, let us know. And Summer's going to get us set up.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, so I hope you see this. If you guys don't, let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna slide this over and pull this back up so that you guys know what you're supposed to put in there. And I don't know, I'll give you guys about 5 minutes, and then hopefully that'll be long enough to get at least one of your syllabuses done. Syllabi. Okay?
Brandy.
Yes, ma'am.
We have unpublished courses for citizenship and handwriting, and I don't remember that last year. Do we need to publish those also, or just the ELAR math, science, social studies?
Last year we did publish them, but we did not go in and do all of the things that we're going to do today, and that we were not required to have a syllabus or go and change the side features. So for right now, and especially the handwriting one, I would not do. But your citizenship should be published.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so at like 9:12, we'll keep going. And so if you get this done before then and you need to take a break, you can. But I'll be here in case you have any questions. Which tile do you not have? Is it? Oh, you found, okay.
So did you say, I missed that, did you say go ahead and publish our course?
Yes, so as soon as your syllabus is complete, they want you to publish your course.
And then one other question, I noticed last week, we only had the course tiles that we were teaching. And then this week, they added all the courses. So we're only going to publish, though, the course that we teach, right?
Because you're departmentalized, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So, and you teach math, right?
Yes.
I'm trying to get it all straight. So, yeah, so you would only publish your math course because you won't have, your students will be on somebody, for reading, they'll be on somebody else's roster for that.
Okay.
So then
That's
same
my
for me too.
understanding. And if I find out that that's incorrect, I'll make sure that we can fix that next week during our campus PD.
Okay.
Yeah, see, because like mine, I have to have science and social studies.
Yes. And do we have anyone from Kinder in right now?
Brandy, I haven't met you. I'm Priscilla Guerra, first grade.
Hi.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Because kindergarten is having some issues. I don't think they have a tile yet because their grade book is set up different, but we're working on that.
Also, by any chance, do you know each grade level's conference time? Like, what would
Well,
you do right now?
so there's the answer is no, because the district would like everybody to have each grade level during these first 3 weeks. They want them to have the same schedule. And then
Okay.
they were wanting that to kind of roll out to the school year, but then that's not really possible for all campuses. And so we're having to make adjustments to the master schedule also because of the safety policies that we're going to be required to follow. So we're still making adjustments to that. So I guess I would just leave it whatever your conference time was last year. And then if we have to go back in and edit it, we will.
Okay.
We're getting so close to school starting, and there's still just a bunch of unknown information, and we'll just kind of have to fix those things as we figure out the answers.
Do we have to have a course description for citizenship also?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
So while you guys are doing that, just in case you're not in our blended learning course yet, I'm going to post the link for it on here in the chat. Oh, it's not going to work. So if you haven't joined the course that you're supposed to work through this afternoon or after our training, that would be the link for it in the chat. It took me out of our course though, so let me get back to it. Okay, do you guys still need some more time to work on your syllabus? Are you guys ready to go? Ready to go? Okay, awesome. Let's keep moving on. So again, they're saying once, I'm sorry.
Randy, sorry, I have a quick question.
Sure.
I'm trying to publish citizenship, and so it popped up choose course homepage. Do I choose course modules? Or...
No, it's still, you would choose syllabus. Even though you're not going to.
Oh, hello, because that's what we just did, syllabus. Okay, thank you.
Yes, so it's always going to, no matter what, your course homepage is always going to be syllabus for the course.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So we've already published our courses, and they just want me to keep reiterating that if it's not published, they can't see it, okay? So now we're going to start creating modules in our Canvas page. And when we do that, we're going to create a module. We're going to create a content page, an assignment. We're going to practice importing from Commons, and then we're going to publish our module. And so that's what we're about to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a module. So I'm going to get rid of our presentation for a minute and go back to so we're going to click when you have your Canvas course pulled up, you'll click on modules.
Brandy, I'm sorry.
That's
So
fine.
I'm gonna go to courses, and I'm in courses, but I don't see where it says modules.
So you have to click on the course that you're going to work in.
Does it? Okay, I'm sorry. I lost focus. Did you tell us which course to go to, or do we just pick one?
You just pick one.
Okay, I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Trust me, we're fine.
Thank you.
I have a lot of courses. I'm sorry. Let me get back to my one that we're working.
Okay, wait, sorry. So after we pick our subject on the dashboard, then what did you say to go to?
We're going to go to modules.
Okay, thank you.
I'm so sorry. My internet is just like being so slow today. Okay, so we'll click on modules. And then up here at the top, we're going to click the button, and it's going to say new module, and we're going to call it Getting Started. And then once you've done that, you just hit Add Module.
Question, Brandy.
Sure.
If the district has already put our modules in, do we do this along with you and then just not publish it?
It's no. If you've already put your modules in and you kind of know what's going on, you don't have to make what I'm making. It's just, you can just watch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay. So right here we have the title to our module, and it's called Getting Started. And you'll see right here that mine is just this white circle with a line through it. That means that my module is not published. So if my students log down right now to my course, they're not going to have anything to do because I don't have it published, okay? So once you click it, once you see that green button, then you know it's published, and we know that now they'll be able to see it, okay? After we've created our module, we're going to create a page. And so in order to, I don't know if any of you did the Elise Barrows training at district-wide, but they explained this in a way that I wish I had heard it a long time ago. And so they said, you know, Canvas is like your filing cabinet. And then each module is what you're going to do that week. And so that's what you keep all in the file for that week. And then when you're adding things like pages and assignments, those are like the worksheets that you would have in your file. And I just thought that was kind of a good analogy that a lot of us used that organization system in our classrooms. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a content page. And so a content page is where you could give your students instructions and link in any items that you want them to see. It could be like your daily objective. So in order to add a page to your module, you'll click this gray plus button next to the little check. If I'm going too slow or too fast, just let me know. We're not going to add an assignment yet. First, we're going to add a page. And so then we're going to hit new page because this isn't something that we already have created. And we're going to call it Getting to Know the Teacher. Once you have a title, you can hit Add Item. So you'll see our page is here, but it's not published, right? And I can hit the button and it's published, but when they click on it, there's not going to be anything there. Canvas is really repetitive. So you're going to, add an item, and then you have to click the item, and then you're going to edit it. That's how you're going to always work through everything. Once you start playing around with it, you get it down really quick because it's just the same actions over and over again. So when you click on your page, it will come up and you'll see that there's nothing in there except for the title. So then you could hit edit. And then that rich content editor is going to come up again. And this is where you could do something like, it's coming. It's just super slow. I think it's because I'm recording this.
What's
So-
immersive reader?
I'm sorry?
What's immersive reader? You didn't have it on yours, but I have it on mine. It
So
says
that is so that it can be read. The
Oh.
contents of the page can be read.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Oh, no, that's a good question. So, and for those of you who have the littles, you know, it might even be good. So if you this could be something on a first day of school activity where you said, hi, you know, I'm your teacher, and type in some things that you want them to know about you. And it almost like a way to introduce yourself. If you needed to, for your younger students, or maybe you just wanted to introduce yourself with a video, you would click this button. And this is gonna be your media tool. You have two options. You can just record text or you can record a video. And then once you're done and you hit save, it's going to be embedded in this content page, and it'll automatically be the first thing that pops up when your students click this page. And I'll show you. Hi guys, I'm Mrs. Shattuck. I can't wait till we can see each other in person. And then, so here's my video, and I think it's great. And so I'm gonna hit save, and boom, there it is. And so whenever it's in student view, your students won't see this. It'll be a big square of the video. Canvas does it like this so that you can keep working within this page and not be bogged down by that big square. So after you type in whatever you're gonna want for your kids to do, then you're gonna hit save. And so now when your students log in, they're gonna see that the first module is called Getting to Know the Teacher. And then there's gonna be a page that they know that they have to click on. And when they click on it, there's gonna be your video for them to see. And when they click it, it will get bigger. It won't be that little, okay? So far we have created a module and we have created a content page. And our next thing that we wanna do is to create an assignment. So I was thinking that maybe for your first assignment, since you would introduce yourself, then maybe you could assign a discussion where they would introduce themselves to each other, okay? So we're gonna click modules again because you wanna get back to that file where you're gonna add your items, right? And so here's my file, or it's a module, but you know, the analogy that we were talking about, which is published. Here's my page, Getting to Know My Teacher, which is published. And so now we want to add an assignment. So we can hit the plus button again. See, and then it says assignment, you're going to put new assignment. But if you wanted them, you can do this two different ways. You can do it like this in assignment, and then their response will go just to you. Or you can do it like a discussion, and then they will be able to see each other's responses and reply to each other. So you could even have that be part of the assignment. Introduce yourself and reply to two of your peers. So we're gonna go ahead and do a discussion. We'll call it introduction. So, and make sure that you always click new, unless it's something that your students do every week. An example of that would be like for ELAR, if you're going to put in their phoneme graphing mapping paper, once you have that in there, it'll always be there. So you wouldn't keep adding it over and over again. You could just put a fresh copy. But most of the time you're going to be adding whatever assignment or discussion, whatever you're doing, it's going to be a new item. So after you've named it, you'll click add item. And as you can see, it's not published. So I'm going to publish it. In order to put the settings for the discussion, we need to click on it. So we're going to say edit, because as of right now, all they would see was that there's a discussion. There's no instructions. They won't know what to do. Sorry. Okay, so it has a title. You could maybe add a photo, or you could, you know, create a video if you wanted to. It's an option. Sorry, my thing is going so slow. Okay, and so your rich content editor will open again, and this is where you would give your directions, like introduce yourself to the class, reply to 2 of your classmates. So that way they'll know what they're supposed to do. Now, in order to hold our students accountable, and also for this to work with SpeedGrader and with the analytics, we're going to want to say that it's graded, That doesn't mean that they necessarily are going to get a grade or any points for this, but it is a way that we can hold them accountable. If you're going to allow them to reply to each other, this allow threaded replies has to be checked.
I have a question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Are you suggesting that everything we do be graded, so it all be analytic?
Yes. So even if because you have the option when you come down here, you can say that it's not worth any points, and you can also say that it's a complete incomplete. And so you'll just be able to really quickly go to that grade, you know, the SpeedGrader, and the students that have an incomplete, you'll know right away.
Okay, so if we do not say graded, then the analytics that Ms. Ortiz or any administrator have would not be included in the analytics.
We'll be able to see that the time they were in the course, but we will not be able to see that they were doing some type of activity.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. Thank you.
Okay. And
are you going to show us SpeedGrader later, Brandy?
Yes, and we're actually going to be doing this. I can show you as soon as we put this assignment in, and then on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to be spending some time on synchronous and asynchronous, how we're going to go forward during this time on the new analytics and SpeedGrader. So
good.
We're going to take, some of it's going to be real repetitive, but we just want everyone to be really comfortable. So, so the answer is yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Randy, I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, you know when you're adding a module and it always shows up at the bottom?
Yes.
And okay, I know you have to, I know you can go into where you click and it drags it up to the top. Can you do something in your settings where it automatically shows at the top instead of the bottom?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me write a note here. Priscilla.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes. It's very annoying.
Yeah.
That's actually the whole reason I created a new course to do this, because my sandbox is so long that when I was even practicing this training, I would add a module and I was having a hard time finding them.
Yeah.
Because I know it can get a little excessive. I will find out today and I'll send you an email.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
I have another question real quick. I'm sorry to bother you.
That's why we're here. Listen, we have 30 minutes left and we're almost done. So we had a really long time so that you guys could ask questions.
So I know specifically for physical education, we are collecting one gradable thing per week. So the complete, incomplete, it's actually going to be very, if it's what we do, they either completed it or they didn't complete it. I did not do the discussion. I did an assignment and it's asking for a due date. Are we putting 11:59 at the end of the week? Do you have that specific instruction?
That's what we were told. Yes. So it would be like that. So whatever the end of that week, which would be like Sunday at 11:59, is where I would put.
Because we are allowing those students to up to 11:59 that week to make sure that they're engaging in some type of activity.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so do you see right here where it says assigned to, and then I have everyone? I can choose my due date as Wednesday, but I can make it available until Sunday. So that way, when they're in there, they kind of still have like a track. Like, if I'm going to stay on track with what my teacher thinks, this is what I should be doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. But you can keep it open or available until Sunday. And then that way, those students that need time to catch up, like Brandy Addison said, she had to do all her kids' schoolwork on the weekend because when we first went to blended learning, she was helping everybody all day long. So her kids needed to turn their assignments in on the weekend. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot of students like that their parents are going to play catch up at the end of the week with their assignments. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And that's a great point you bring up because I haven't heard anything about weekend work and if that's going to count to attendance during that week. So that's very interesting.
I was supposed to have a meeting with Kathy yesterday afternoon, and she got called in on a last-minute meeting about attendance because on our leadership meeting last Tuesday, they still didn't have an answer for us how we were taking care of that. So hopefully she'll have an answer for us about that today.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Really quick, before, when I was in my pre-K meeting yesterday, they brought up the fact that if a child gets sick and you only have your due date until that Sunday, they wouldn't have access to it. Let's say they start feeling better Monday or Tuesday of the following week and they have to go back in and do makeup work.
You're absolutely right.
They wouldn't have access to your assignment.
Maybe it'd be good to leave the whole 6 weeks, the whole grading period open then?
They recommended to us that maybe we might want to consider leaving it open until the following week.
That makes
and I had heard 10 days also. So I think it's going to depend on what you teach also, right? So it depends on how you're going to set up your course, but that I had heard that also, Lydia, and they had recommended 10 to 14 days, right? From your due date to leave it open.
Yeah, we heard 2 weeks too.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for PE, I could see how you would want to do it that Sunday, but you're right. The makeup work, it needs to stay, or for our classwork that we're going to take grades on, it does need to be left open for the 14 days.
That's good information. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Brandy, you said that Monday and Tuesday they'll tell us what they want our schedule to be like. Is that what you said?
Yes, we're going to yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, because we kind of want, Friday we're going to work on the meet the teacher, but it's kind of hard to do that when we don't know what we're telling them, as far as how often we're going to meet and our expectations, because I honestly don't know what they are. So we'll find that out Monday or Tuesday.
Yes.
You're not sure.
Yes, it'll be Monday or Tuesday. And I actually got an email while we've been in here from Kathy requesting a Zoom so that we can finalize the agenda for Monday and Tuesday and get that out to you guys also.
Okay, because our meet the teacher's already Wednesday, so I guess we just won't include that in the information yet until we get that from y'all.
And I can email Kathy when we're done and see if maybe she has something that she can give you guys.
Oh, that
some
would be
information.
good.
Okay, I'll email her. Let me make a note.
Thank
If I
you
don't-
very much.
If I don't write it down, I might not remember.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
While you're making notes, Ms. Shattuck,
Uh-huh.
I'm no longer in the Woodlawn group that when you send a mass email and you say all
Yes.
Woodlawn, I'm no longer in that group. So if you could just enter my name, george.woods@ccisd.us.
Yes. That happened to me one time when I changed campuses. Okay, you're not in the email. We want to know about the schedules and then about moving the module to the top.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so like I said, for this assignment, we're going to do complete or incomplete. It's going to go under assignments. You can require peer review so that they wouldn't be able to get a complete or incomplete until they've this is how like a lot of the college classes that I'm taking right now are. You don't get credit until it doesn't show up in your grade book that you've done it until you've gone in and replied to 2 peers. It's up to you. I would say for us, I probably wouldn't require it because they're also just kind of learning how to use all of this stuff. And then we're going to assign it to everybody. So I'm going to say that this one's due the 12th. And so I'm going to open it on the 9th. And I'll close it the 26th. So that would be the 2 weeks. And then I'm going to hit save. Remember, if you don't save it, it's not going to be there. And so now your students have an assignment, and it's published. We know it is. And so when they go into the module, they'll know exactly what's expected of them.
Randy, I had a quick question. You said that the due date, like your example, you put on the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And then your available times, you opened it the 9th and closed it the 26th.
Yeah, so that would be the 14 days.
When I did that, it says due date cannot be before term start.
That is, so what date did you pick? The same day I did?
Yeah, it says due date, which is the one where you just put one date. I put August 12th.
But it's because school doesn't start until the 13th. So your course is technically see, mine's a fake course. And so I just put that we're already in session, but yours is a real course. And so that's why you would need to choose a date that after the 13th.
Gotcha.
Or on the 13th.
I put 8 a.m. on August 13th and it's fine.
Oh, okay. See, there you go.
Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Okay, so I want to show you guys the speed grader. And we forgot to go get rid of our extra things right here. Or I forgot to tell you guys, so we'll go back and we'll do that. So okay. Sorry, my internet is so slow. So for the analytics, you would come here and you would be able to see that information on how they did, okay? But in order to get, and that's from your home page. If you, this is gonna sound kind of confusing for a second, but it just all dawned on me yesterday when I was working with another teacher one-on-one. We have we're gonna have our syllabus set to our homepage, right? But even if you've already done that, when you click on syllabus, all of these items are not going to come up. Those items are only going to come up when you hit homepage. Even though your syllabus is set to your homepage, those features don't come up unless you hit home. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure because I I confused somebody about that yesterday. So, okay, to get the speed grader to come up, you're going to go to assignments. We would already be done if my internet was faster. So when you go to assignments, does your speed grader show up on the right? No. Hmm. Hmm. And if I can't get it to work, I'll make you guys a video and email it to you. Because when I practiced before, when I did it, it showed up when I clicked on the assignment. Let me try it one more time. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a delay because of the internet and I clicked on the wrong course. We only have about 17 minutes, so I'm gonna try and get it really fast. And like I said, if I can show it, if I'm not able to show it to you right now, I will, I promise. Because we're gonna spend time on that next week. I'm afraid that it doesn't show up until someone's done an assignment is the problem. Because when I did my practice course, I logged in as a student and I did a bunch of the activities. And so then I was able to use the speed grader.
Does it just tell us who completed the assignment, or does it actually give some type of a grade?
It depends on how you have it set up. So for this one, it would just show your students' names and it would have complete or incomplete. If you had given it if it was an activity that Canvas can grade, like a Canvas quiz, it would give you their grade, and then you could go in and click on the student's name and you'll get their specific correct and incorrect answers. And you can also see your class's average, almost like how when we used to run those reports in Eduphoria, and it would tell you, you know, on question 1, all these students, this many students got it right or wrong. The other thing that's nice about SpeedGrader that whenever I'm able to show it to you is that if it's an assignment, let's say it was like a paper that they submitted, when you click on it, you'll be able to annotate their assignment. You'll be able to give them a score, and you can record feedback if you would prefer to do it that way. it is very convenient to be able to go through the assignments and especially be able to annotate and record so that they get an immediate feedback response from you. But like I said, we have time dedicated on Monday and Tuesday to be able to go over that with you guys. I remember there being something about having to have a fake student and have them, but I don't know how to enable that right now.
Will you also Monday or Tuesday talk about what that is? Because I've just heard that was one of the choices for one of the classes, and I have no idea what that is.
Yes,
the new analytics or something like that.
Yes, so the course analytics is how you'll know how often your students have logged in and how much time they spend on each assignment. And we have a dedicated, I think it's an hour and a half on our schedule to just SpeedGrader and analytics, because you guys are really going to need to be familiar with those, and that's how you're going to have your that's how you're going to be monitoring your students during this time. And like I said, this is how we're going to be submitting information to TEA about how often our students log in.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So, and I had a question about the accessibility checker. Whenever you're in your rich content editor, I forgot to show you that. There'll be a button and it says accessibility. It's loading right now and I'll show you. I'm sorry, my internet is just really having a hard time. So on your rich content editor, down, I think it's usually at the bottom, right, where are we? So do you see this little man? He looks like the, I forget what that drawing is called, but when you click him, he checks to make sure whatever video or thing you recorded or whatever you put in here, he's gonna tell you if it worked or not. If it's going to be accessible to any device, phone, tablet, or computer. As you can see, he says that everything that I did was fine. Okay. So before we go to our closing.
Sorry, Brandy, real quick.
Okay.
On that run accessibility checker, so every time we do something, we should click that?
I wouldn't say every time, but if you're adding media, that's when I would kind of think like you might want to run it. If you've inserted a video or something like that, that's where I would run it.
Thank you.
If you're embedding those Google pages, those Bitmoji pages, I would run the accessibility checker for those. Because if it's just an image that is going to be like appeasing to the students, it doesn't matter if it's you know, if it has problems or not. But if you have buttons or links to other pages or outside resources, we need that accessibility. We need to run it so that we can make sure that they'll be able to access those resources. Because if it says that it's not accessible, you would maybe want to link those things below it just in case they couldn't, like just a separate like text link to make sure that they're still able to go there. For example, I saw one that had like all the different math manipulatives, which is great, but if they can't access that from the phone, there needs to be a place where those are listed where they can access them that way. Does it make that make sense?
Thanks.
Okay. So before we sign off, we have to backtrack a little. So we've saved everything at this point, correct? I hope everyone has. And so one thing that we need to do, is go back and make sure the only items that we have right here for our course are the home, the syllabus, the announcements, and the modules. So when you go back, if you hit home, you'll go to what the course homepage is right now. Wish I could do something to make it faster. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is right here it says choose homepage, because right now your homepage just goes to home. So you'll click that and you're going to want to choose syllabus for the homepage.
Sorry, can you start again? Did you say we go to our class, our subject tile first?
Yes, so you'll want to be in your subject tile and then you'll click home. And then you'll click choose homepage.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then it'll come up and it says syllabus and we say save, right?
Yes, so you'll choose syllabus
Okay.
and then hit save. Sorry, I'm so sorry my computer is being so slow. And then the other thing that we're going to want to do is to go back and go to settings. Do you see it down here at the bottom on your course navigation? It's the last blue link. And then at the top, you're going to click navigation. So the only thing that we want here is home, syllabus, announcements, and modules. If you have anything extra, all you have to do is click it and drag it below where it says drag item here. So like new analytics. Now, you'll still be able to see all these things with eyes like this on them. But when your students log in, the only thing that they'll see that they can click on is home, syllabus, announcements, and modules. And that's what we want them to see. It's just a little bit less confusing for them. And then make sure that after you have it set to just those 4 items that you hit save. Okay, and so the last thing that we're pretty much done unless you guys have any questions for me before I go back to the slides. Okay, hold on one second. Okay. So just to review the things that we've gone over today is that we've learned how to navigate in Canvas. We customized our teacher information. And so for those of you who are self-contained, you can take that syllabus and go copy and paste it to your other ones. Just make sure you update your course description. And then we created a module, a content page, and an assignment. So in the chat box, they would like you to think of 2 things that you will implement this year to improve instruction with your students. the video instructions. I think that that's awesome. I think that's an awesome feature. The accessibility checker is going to be so important just because people are getting so creative with what they're creating. We want to make sure that our students have access. I think that the fact that we can now make those videos straight from the rich content editor is going to be super helpful for our students. The last thing that they want you to be aware of when you're in the Blended Learning 2.0 course, there's these 2 modules at the bottom. So you're going to see a total of 5 modules. The first 3 are for you to work through. The last 2 are these 2 modules, which is a student orientation module. It's just a bunch of different things to help your students get started. And then there's parent support. Again, it's a bunch of different things to help your parents get started. And so these are all linked in there so that if you want to add them to your course, that they are available to you. And that's it. Y'all are done.
Thank you.
Okay, and
Thank you.
I had some questions about, do you have to stay for the next thing? You don't have to. That's only a couple of people had wanted to stay for the Ninja or the Master, but it's not required. The only other expectation is that you log into that blended learning course and you work through those 3 modules.
I have
But
a
if-
question. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Where will the recording links be located so we can go back and refer if we need to?
I will post that. Okay, so no matter what, I'll email it to all staff. And
Okay.
then I will also try and post them in the Woodlawn Hub.
Okay,
So that
great.
we'll have so even if it's, 2 months down the road, you're like, oh, how did she say that I do that? We'll still be able to access them.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
If I wanted to stay for all of them, do I just stay on this Zoom? Is it going to be the same one?
It's going to be the same Zoom. I won't end it until I think it's at noon. And then, yeah, so there's like about a 10-minute break in between each one.
Okay, and I apologize for these questions, but the afternoon, I signed up for the afternoon. Is the afternoon the exact same thing?
No.
There's an afternoon, there's a PM technology.
Okay. So most campuses, what the super user did was divide the campus into a morning group and an afternoon group so that there would be very few people in the course. But the ITA from Smith got very sick. And so they asked me if I could do this for them also. And so what I did, instead of having the 2 schools mixed together, I just am doing all Woodlawn in the AM and all Smith in the PM. So the afternoon is for you to apply what you've learned here to your Canvas courses.
Okay, if I wanted to see him again, can that be okay?
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah.
Because the more
I'll
I
send you
engage,
I can send you in an email, I'll send you the link that the Smith people are going to use to sign in.
I would really appreciate that, because the more I can write down notes, because I know we're going fast and I'm not going to stop it every time, but just the more I get involved, and then I can spend the evening working on
Yeah,
it.
and then other people have different questions,
Absolutely, yes.
So that someone in another course might ask something that you hadn't thought to ask. I totally get it.
I really appreciate that. And again, I'm not in the Woodlawn, so you're gonna have to put my name.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Brandy.
Do I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
stay here?
Yeah, just stay here. If you
Okay.
want to like pause and take a break,
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I don't have it pulled up right in front of me, but let me see. I think they start at 10:10, so
Okay, thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Hey, Brandy,
Yes, ma'am.
a quick question. Okay, so you're gonna be moving into the ninja level next.
Yes,
But
that's
we can just listen in a little bit, because I feel like, I'm still at the apprentice, but I can listen in a little and then just leave the
yeah.
meeting.
And the whole beginning is going to be the same as yours was, just
Okay.
kind of the stuff. And they're going to be mainly focusing on Nearpod. So it's if you want to stay in, you're more than welcome to.
If not, we go to the blended
Right. Mhm.
learning tile. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Brandy.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
And so, this is Lavisa.
Hi.
Hi. Listen, on the link that you provided here, it's also the same thing as in the letter you sent us.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Either one.
Either one.
And then if I don't stay for this one, because I'll get overwhelmed. I'll take one thing at a time. I can watch the ninja and the other one later.
Yes, I'll email them out. Yes.
Okay.
And if you're ever wanting to focus on what they're learning in those two things, I can always do a one-on-one training, or I can send you video. I have a lot of how-to Nearpod videos that I can send.
Oh, okay. I think that might be better for me.
Okay.
Us old dogs. I mean, I tell you, it takes a lot to get it in. Okay.
It's no problem.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
I have a question, Brandy.
Go for it.
So yesterday I was doing a social studies training and they were showing us how to add content from Commons.
Yes.
But they were telling us that for advanced and I didn't know that and I accidentally did it with them. So now, and they imported an example. It was the summer program and I imported that into my social studies tile and now I'm freaking out because I don't know how to get it out because now it's changed a lot of stuff.
Yes. So that's, yes. Okay. So is it just the modules you're wanting to get rid of?
It added to the syllabus. It like everything. So
all of those items. Okay. So I always recommend people, if you're going to import from Commons, to import into your sandbox. And then you can transfer it to your other places just because of that. So the syllabus and all of those things, you're going to have to go back and change yourself. And then you can just delete the modules on, let me see, I can show you. Where do I have our course? So right here, do you see the 3 dots?
Yeah.
So you'll click that and then you can delete it. I think it even asks you, are you sure you want to delete? And then you would hit yes.
Could I show you my screen really quick?
Oh, sure. And then now you should be able to share your screen.
Okay, so it looks like this now.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And then, but if I want to delete it, okay. Well, right now when I was trying to delete it, it came back to what I originally had. So I was like, well, then where's this stuff? So then I just click and drag and delete all of this.
Yes. I did the exact same thing my first year whenever I was learning how to use Canvas. I imported something from Commons I thought was kind of interesting, and I didn't realize it was a whole course. And so when I pulled it in, it deleted everything I had done, my syllabus, my bio, all of that stuff. So we just have to be careful, when we're pulling stuff in from Commons, that make sure exactly what you're importing.
Is there anything else besides the modules that I need to delete that might have came in, like pages?
I don't think so. Especially if the only other thing I would check is just those notification settings that we went over at the beginning. To
change them?
Yeah, I just make sure that those didn't get changed. And then also just those navigation items, the home syllabus, as long as that's all the same, then I don't think anything else probably got changed.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. And then do you know how to make me the host again?
I think it just says assign and leave, right?
Or you could do that, or if you put your mouse over my picture and then there's the 3 dots and then you say make the host or something like that.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
No. Let me get set back up. I'm sorry, when I shared or switched sharing screens, all my stuff got shifted around, and I'll add the new people. There we go. Okay, our last course went just a second over, so I'm just gonna go grab a water and come right back, and then we'll get started, okay?
So I learned how to change my background finally.
Okay. Okay, so, oh, we have 1 minute. Okay, they have 1 more minute to join. Just want to make sure I don't leave anybody in the waiting room. If everybody wants to, hi, hello. welcome to our Blended Learning 2.0 Ninja course. So you guys are obviously pretty proficient in Canvas and are ready to take it to the next step. So the first thing that I'm going to ask is that you put your name in the chat. I am recording the sessions and I'm going to share them with you. So if there's something that you feel like maybe you would have benefited from the other one, the apprentice, or if you get through this and you're like, maybe I should have done the master's, all of these will be available to you. I'm also doing the same training for Smith Elementary this afternoon. And if you decide that you would like to attend another session, just send me an email and I'll send you their Zoom link. Just make sure no one else is waiting. Okay. Oh, getting a little ahead of myself. Okay, so this is me. I'm Brandy Shattuck. I'm your new ITA. Some of you I've gotten to Zoom a little bit closer with during our training on Monday and Tuesday. I can't wait to get to see all of you guys in person, which will be awesome once we're all back together, masks and all. But I am really excited to be a part of your campus. People in the district talk so good about you guys and that y'all are just a wonderful staff, and so I'm super happy to be here. And let's get started going. So just make sure that you mute yourself when appropriate, that you signed into the chat, that your camera is on, and that you're actively participating. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat. But sometimes when I'm in the presentation mode, it's hard for me to keep an eye on that. So if you've asked a question and I haven't stopped, just unmute yourself and shout out at me, and I will try and help you out, okay? So we're going to do a little warm up. Some of the people that were in the morning course decided to stay on, and so they get to do it again. But I'm going to ask a question, and you'll type in your, if it applies to you, you'll type in "that's me," and then I'll ask you guys some questions. So did any of you watch any good movies over the summer break? No one watched any good movies? Not even one? Oh, okay. So Lydia, what did you watch?
I watched the movie Braven over the
summer.
summer.
Yes. And you said that was good, right?
It was good.
Good. Oh, The Irishman. How was that?
Very interesting and long. It's like 3 hours long.
Oh, I just don't do good with stuff like that.
But it was good. It was good. You never got bored at any moment.
Oh, that's good. What's Greyhound?
That's the Tom Hanks movie on Apple TV.
Oh.
Apple TV, yeah.
Oh.
Great. It was really good.
It was really good.
Yes, it was very good.
I wrote some movies down from the last training that I can go back and watch. Okay, what about anyone read a good book over the summer?
That's me.
Oh, what'd you read?
Oh, were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I read a whole bunch of books, but American Dirt was very good. Gosh, they're on my iPad and my Kindle. I read like 9 books actually.
Oh my goodness, 9 books?
I'm on my 10th book. I know, Ms. Burns, I can tell you I'm always reading, but American Dirt was very, very good. It's about a family that travels from Acapulco, Mexico to make it to the States to be safe. So we talk about their travels and all of that. It's so interesting. It's a great, they better make it a movie. It's that good. So.
You're so inspiring. That's a lot of books. Oh. I'm just like so inspired by you.
I read all the time. Thank you.
Okay. Did anybody learn anything new this summer? Gina, what did you learn?
Well, now with the Tech to Teach, I mean, there was just so many new options for us, like the Flipgrid is pretty cool. You know, now just learning how to get those Bitmojis on Google Slides. I mean, so many learning opportunities this summer.
Right.
So that was pretty cool.
I did that choice board that they offered at the beginning of the week. I did that in May, and I did it again at the beginning of the week, and I learned new stuff again. There's just so much information, and they kind of talk fast, and so you think you're getting it all, but then you end up that you can always learn more, right? Okay, and so you attended Tech to Teach. Did anybody else attend Tech to Teach? No. Okay, and Dr. Tapia, what classes did you take?
Oh, mine was like privately to Conard. I did Tech to Teach as well.
Oh, okay. What did you take?
I said me. I took Zoom and Google Sites. I took Google Slides, and I took like how to make your class engaging with, I think, Melissa.
Oh, okay.
I took like six.
We're going to work on that today with some Nearpod, making our stuff engaging. And I really like the Google Sites. It's just a different way for the kids to maybe present something. And then we can always have them submit whatever site that they create for multimedia fair, which is awesome. And then you guys it's a little bit later, but how are we feeling? Are we like tired? Are we ready for school to start? We're tired of trainings, right? Yes, I'm doing lots of nods. Yeah, we're tired of training. So hopefully this training will be beneficial to you. If I go too fast or too slow, just let me know. And if there's something that we go over that overwhelmed, exhausted, right? If there's something that we do and then you get back to start working on it and then you can't remember, just send me an email or a text, and I can do a one-on-one, or we can, however we need to get you going. Okay. So this is the 2020-2021 school year Canvas teacher checklist. So essentially, since you guys are the ninja level, that you have already been able to do all of these items in the apprentice level. If there's something that you can't do in that level, but you're interested in, if it's a blue link, if it's blue, you can click it and there's videos. They're either from someone within our district made the video, or the videos are from the made by the Canvas staff themselves. But you guys are right here in this ninja level, which means that essentially you are already working at a blended learning level, which is the goal for us. The goal for Canvas was never to be online learning. It's just to have a blended learning environment. So you guys are already started there. You already did the survey because that's why you're here. So essentially how this is supposed to work is that since you guys are already more proficient, there's less that we need to go over. So you'll only spend 1 hour with me, and then your other 2 hours of time will be dedicated to the blended learning Canvas course. And while you're in there, you will do the medium level items, because for each module, there's an assignment to submit. And your assignments would take longer than the apprentice level, and that's how they justified that time difference. When you're in the course, if you haven't already started working on it, there's going to be three modules that you work through. There's a total of 5 modules. The modules for you are the equitable access, differentiated instruction, and accountability and feedback. The other 2 modules, we'll go over them, but they're just resources for you guys. So while you work through each of these, at the end, you'll come to an assignment, and then you get to choose which level you want to work at. If you've worked through the module and you feel like, well, I'm not necessarily Ninja level at this, you don't have to stick with Ninja. You can choose whichever level you want, okay? A couple of things that have changed in Canvas is that in the past, once your students were off of your roster, that module was gone. That course tile was gone and you could never get it back. They have changed that. So when you first log on and you click courses, at the top, you will see all of your live courses, and at the bottom, you'll see all your past courses. So if you wanted to go, when you set up your syllabus and make sure all the items, the correct items are in there, if you already had a syllabus with a bio in an old course, you could go and copy it from there and paste it to your new course. Also, the rich content editor has changed. They have added new features, like the accessibility checker is there. You can record content straight in there, and then there's more options for the like text and things like that. Another thing that's new this year is the new analytics. We're going to be going over this more next week on our campus-based instruction, but new analytics is how we are going to hold our students accountable. And this is also how the district is going to report our accountability to TEA. This is how we are going to show that we are engaging our students. This is so, and if you're enrolled as a student, for example, the blended learning course, whoever is the teacher of that course will be able to go in and see how often you accessed the course, what grades you got in the course, and how much time you spent on each activity or each page in the course. So there's a lot of information here. You can get the average grade on an assignment or for the whole course. This is what it looks like when you see the weekly activity. So this is the average for the class, as a screenshot of an average class. And you can see that this is how often they're looking at the page views, and this is how often they're participating per day. And then this is where your student grades will appear, and you can see that out of the average, what their percentage of time they spent. Their average time that they spent in that course for the time period you have selected, then you'll know, well, 13% of their time they spent on this, or, you know, so you can tell where if their grade doesn't reflect what was expected of them, you can go back and see like, oh, well, they didn't actually do the reading. They just went straight to the assignment. Okay, so now we're gonna get into your specific Ninja level training. So the key thing that we're gonna be working on today is Nearpod, navigating Nearpod, creating a Nearpod assignment using Google Slides, which is much easier than creating it directly in Nearpod, and then how to embed the Nearpod lessons in Canvas so that they work with SpeedGrader and with the analytics. The great thing about Nearpod is that within itself, it does track the analytics. So if you went to Nearpod and you ran reports, you could get that information. But since it's a Canvas LTI, they even though they leave Canvas or if they popped it out so that they could do the Nearpod activity, Canvas is still tracking that time. So it's just, you know, another way to show our accountability. So one thing that we want to make sure is that when you sign into Canvas, or no, when you sign into Nearpod, that you're signing into a district account. And then we're going to explore how we can search by TEKS. We're going to look at our library, and then we're going to browse the district library.
Ms. Shattuck,
Yes, ma'am.
before we go on, back to the new analytics on the, you know, how you were talking about the time that shows how much time they spent on it and all that. Is there a way to set it up? Because I've been getting those already. Like, for example, Miss Perez and Kinder spent like 45 minutes, and I was looking at all the different things. How often will they be getting that report?
The district? How often will who get the report?
Well, because I've been getting it pretty much every day.
So that's in your Canvas settings. So you have your Canvas settings set that for it to notify you every day. And you can turn that off if you want, but the district is, because in my previous class, we went and set our settings and we didn't turn that on. They're just gonna be expected to go in and run the report as needed.
I see. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so when you go to Nearpod, you need to make sure that you're clicking login with Google, and then you use your universal login. If you create a separate account, or if you log in down here, you're not going to get the district features, and you're not going to be able to embed the Nearpod lessons in order for it to work with analytics and SpeedGrader. So you have to make sure that you're logging in with your universal login. So you'll know that you've done it correctly when you log in and you see this district user little emblem. And right below that is where you'll see the Nearpod library, the school library, and the district library. So this is something that I learned this actually while I was practicing for you guys. So if you've used Nearpod, you know that there's collaboration boards where you can, ask a question and then your students go type in the answer and they all pop up. Well, of course you would most likely use that during a live lesson, but the expectation is also that we make whatever we do live available for students to work on self-paced, just in case they couldn't do it. Well, when I went and did it self-paced, it says that your teacher has not enabled this. And I had noticed that in a couple of trainings I did over the summer. It's a setting that we have to change in our Nearpod. So when we get in there, I'll show you, but you're gonna click this little gray person, and then you have to enable collaboration for student-paced lessons. If that's not clicked, when they go in and to do it self-paced, they're gonna get an error message. And when you go in and you look at the SpeedGrader or the analytics, it's gonna show that they didn't do that activity, but they couldn't do it because we don't have that feature enabled. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and log into our Nearpods. So we'll just type in nearpod.com. My thing is just spinning and spinning. There it goes. Okay, and so you can see that mine does not have that the district emblem, which means I'm not logged into my district Nearpod. So we'll click login with Google. Okay, so now we know that we're in a district portfolio. As you can see, here's my library. It's chock full of lessons. I really use Nearpod a lot. I really like it. This is where we can run our reports. We can access our school library, the district library, and then we can look for Nearpod lessons. But the first thing I want to do is make sure that we click our little gray person and that we go to lesson settings. And then we're going to scroll down and click enable collaborate during self-paced lessons. Okay. And then once that's done, you'll click up here. Is the little Nearpod is how you always get back to your library. We want to make sure that we know that if we go to the Nearpod library that we can search by TEAC. We just select our state standard, Texas. From there you can pick your subject and your grade level, and we'll find specific TEACs that are based on that. Okay, so let me grab our slide. So now what we're going to do is we're gonna create a Nearpod lesson in Google Slides, and we're gonna add 3 activities, and then it'll save to our Nearpod library. The reason that it's just easier to do it like this. It's very unfriendly to create a lesson, a full-blown lesson in Nearpod. And then also, for example, the ELAR plans, they already have those Google Slides ready for you. And so then if you wanted to go in and add an activity, you would do it in Google Slides, not in Nearpod. So we're gonna go to Google. And we're going to click on our drive. I'm sorry, my internet's just having a hard time with me recording this video. And we're gonna get a new Google Slides. And I chose a blank presentation, but of course, if you wanted to, you could always use one of their templates. And I wanted to give you some ideas of things that you could do with your kids the first week, kind of like icebreaker activities that would be interactive, because we're starting in such a weird situation. So the first thing I would have you do is create let me back up. So in order to enable Nearpod, you have to go click right here to add-ons. I've already done this, so Nearpod is listed, but if you don't see Nearpod, you would choose get add-ons.
Hey, Brandy, I think Miss Farias is in the waiting room.
Oh no! Let me let her in. I'm so sorry that you were stuck in there.
Brandy, where did you go to get the get add-ons?
It is at the top right here next to tools. And you click add-ons and then get add-ons. And then these are, Nearpod is not the only one, but you'll scroll down until you find Nearpod. I think you can type it in. Okay, and so mine already says installed, but you would click to install it.
Oh.
Did it work?
No.
No.
I already.
Are we good?
Hold on, just.
Yes. Okay. So now that we've put the add-on, in order to access the Nearpod lessons, you'll go back to add-ons and hit open Nearpod. And as you can see, all of those lessons that we're pretty familiar with are here. I was thinking that one of the things that we could do is a draw it lesson. So I'm going to click on draw it. And so the thing that I was thinking that we could create for this was a way for the kids to express their feelings about starting school this way. So you can upload a background image.
Brandy.
Yes, ma'am.
I already had added that add-on, and it said open Nearpod, and I don't have it on that screen, so I'm going to lift up my laptop.
Okay.
I keep getting this here on the side that says to log in, and when I hit sign in with Google, nothing happens. Do you have any idea like what the problem could be?
At the training, they told us that, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
That's
but
okay.
that if you're not logged into like the Google, like on your computer, like you're not logged in under like
your CCISD Google.
Yeah, I logged in under my CCISD Google because I have other documents open. So I don't know what the problem is.
I don't know. The only other thing that I would think it would be to, is if you have changed your, if it prompted you to update your password recently, and you might need to sign out of Google and sign back in.
Okay.
That's what a teacher I worked with yesterday, when she was working through the blended learning course, it kept telling her that she couldn't open her the Google Docs that are embedded within that blended learning course. And I checked and she was logged into Google, but she had changed her password. So I signed her out and signed her back in, and then everything started working.
Okay, I'll try that.
It might be something with that.
Thank
you. If you do that, if it doesn't work, let me know and I'll email Melissa.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Brandy.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I was having trouble with my side, so I turned on my computer, my home computer on Nearpod. Can you get me to where you're at right now, just real quick? I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. So we went to
I'm just, like,
Google
frustrated.
Slides and we clicked
Okay,
on
Google Slides. This is what it looks like on my computer right now. Do you see it?
We can't see you, Araceli.
I just see your like your picture.
Your video isn't on.
Yeah, your video isn't on.
It isn't?
No.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That, oh, it was for a second.
Let me unplug it. Hold on. Is it on now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Lesson in Google Slides?
I can't really see your screen.
It's okay. I don't want to interrupt. Just go ahead.
Okay, so but I am recording this, and
Mm.
I can make a how-to video on how to specifically do this. Okay.
I have a question just because on mine is saying I went to the add-ons, I went to Nearpod to open Nearpod, but it's given me a note says Nearpod slides cannot be copied and pasted. And then it's on the bottom it says edit this lesson, go to Nearpod. Is that just something that I need to X out of?
So when you clicked open Nearpod, do you see this right here?
Which part? No, it opens up a little screen just like that, but right under the little gray part that says Nearpod, it says note in blue, and it says Nearpod slides cannot be copied and pasted.
I don't know. My only suggestion would maybe be to hit the X and then open it again.
But can you see mine right now?
Oh, let me see. Yes, I can. Yeah, I would just hit the X button and try and open it again and see if it doesn't prompt you to this. I've just never gotten that error message. If it does it again, same thing. We'll just have to keep going, and then I can email Melissa.
Okay.
Is it prompting you to sign in?
Well, I
Are
thought
you
I was
on
signed
your
in because,
district Google account?
yeah, because you see it, I mean, right there, you can see
Mhm.
it has it right there.
Connor, and I got that
CCISD.
same message and I just clicked OK and then everything went back to normal.
Mine doesn't have an okay. It just says
Like,
edit this lesson and go to Nearpod.
I think maybe I clicked on like, what does the two bottom ones say?
It says edit this lesson and go to Nearpod.
Edit this lesson. That's what you want to click. Edit this lesson.
Okay.
I just kept
So then
clicking
now it should be.
and then it got to her.
Okay, and see, that looks like
So
you
then-
have it here. So you see you have audio, and you'll just need to scroll down to see the other apps. Okay, so we're gonna do a draw it, and I was thinking that we could do, you know, the screen that has the emojis, and it's like all the different feelings, and that the kids could circle how they're feeling about blended learning. So I just wanted to show you how to set up you could do this with anything. You could do this with a scanned worksheet or any picture. You could do it of a map. It could be a social studies lesson, but I thought this was something that could apply to all of us since we're all different grade levels and all different content areas. So you'll click on upload background image. And then we want to search Google. And so then you could find one that had, like this one's funny with the different face masks, or you could pick one that had, you know, just the different emotions. Of course, we want to make sure that it's appropriate. I think this mask one is funny, so that's the one I'm going to choose. And I just hit the check button, and it's going to bring it in for me. And I don't even need to, some of the images you might need to reset it or adjust it because it might not fit on the screen, but this one just happens to fit. You can flip it or rotate it, anything like that you need to do. After you have your picture how you want it, you'll click save. And so I didn't type in any instructions for the students, but you would want to type in the instructions so they would know what to do. So if you needed to go back in and fix it, you would hit edit this slide. And up here at the top, you could say, you know, circle how, or circle the face that represents how you feel about distant learning. And then, so now they have an instruction. If you needed to add a timer because you were doing this live, you could, and then you'll hit save. We're not going to send it off yet to Nearpod because we want to add 2 more activities. So we're going to go to slide and hit new slide because we want a whole new activity. And the next thing that we're going to do is add an open-ended question. If you scroll down through your apps, you'll find that here. So I'm going to click on it. So you can type in your question, something like, tell us one thing fun you did this summer. You can enable students to be able to record their response, and that might be good if you teach the lower grades because they might not have the skills to type out their whole sentence. And then you can also add a photo or media to go along with it. After you have your question how you want it, you'll just hit save. And then whenever they get to it, they will answer the open-ended response. Everyone okay with that? Okay. Okay, so the next item I want you guys to add is a collaboration board. So we can go in and go slide, new slide. And then you find the collaboration board right here. It says collaborate. It looks like a little sticky note with a pin on it. So here you can choose the style that you like, and you can enter a topic, and we can say like, what's your favorite? And then after we have our question, we can hit save.
So Brandy, like,
yes, ma'am.
whenever you make, like when you're adding the one slide and you're making a Nearpod on each slide, it automatically gives you like a second little slide up here because I see how we have 6.
Yes. So that's how I was told to do it, and I'm sure that it might give them a blank page, like when they're going through the activity. But I didn't want them to not show up, so I still went ahead and did it that way because that's just how I was taught to do it. Okay, so we have our 3 activities, and so we're going to say save and go to Nearpod. I'm sorry, my internet is just a little bit slow. So as you can see, it took me straight back to my library and my lesson is here. So if I wanted to, I have it available that I could launch it any way that I want to. We want to wait till it's all the way done saving first. But what we're going to do is we're going to, now that we have it here saved, we're going to go into our, let me just go back to our slides. So we did all of this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our Canvas course. We're going to create an assignment. Now, in the past, the way that we embedded these is different than the way we're going to do it now, because now it's going to work with new analytics and now it's going to work with SpeedGrader. So we have to embed it in the assignment a little bit different. And so that's what we're going to work on now. Okay. So we need to go to our Canvas page. So you go to courses and get into your course. This is one that I made specifically for this training. And then you'll want to go to modules. And I think that you can delete those blank slides, and we're about to find out if that works that way. So once you're here in your modules, you're going to, I'm going to stick with this module I already have that's all about getting started. I already have an assignment about getting to know the teacher. The kids are going to introduce themselves. And so now I'm going to add this Nearpod. So I'm going to click on the little plus button. I'm going to choose assignment, new assignment, and I'm going to call it Google, I don't know. I'm just going to call it Nearpod. And then we'll hit add item. As of right now, you can see it's not published, so we need to make sure that we publish it. We'll click on the assignment, and then we need to edit the assignment in order to embed our Nearpod lesson that we just created. No barking. It's opening. So the rich content editor is going to open, and if you wanted to add any additional instructions or anything like that, you could do it here. But the actual assignment is going to be embedded down here. So you can decide if you want this to be worth a grade. You can do it by points, or you could do it complete or incomplete, or you can choose not graded. But if you choose not graded, it's not going to work with the speed grader. So I'm just going to click complete incomplete since it's just an introduction activity. When you go here to submission type, you're going to click the arrow and you're going to choose external tool. And then you're going to click find. And you will scroll down to Nearpod. As you can see, as we're scrolling through, you can see that Google, Flipgrid, Discovery Education, they're all in there. And that's how you will embed these external tools. Once you click Nearpod, it's going to open your Nearpod library. If you've never logged into Nearpod from Canvas, it might prompt you to log in, but that'll happen only one time. As you can see, this is the presentation that it's going to be the last thing that you created is going to be the first thing that comes up. And so I'm going to click student paste because I'm assigning it as an assignment. My students are going to be working through this module. So the very first time I did this, it kept bringing me back here and I was like, nothing's happening, it's not working. It looks like nothing happened, but you still hit select. And then you will see that your lesson is there, okay? You can click this if you think that it will be hard for your students to work on Nearpod in the Canvas screen. But I would not click that, especially if you have little kids, because then it's going to open new tabs, and I feel like they get lost. So it just depends on who you're working with. And we're going to assign it to everybody.
Brandy,
we're going to make, I'm sorry.
Sorry, when I was doing summer school and there was a Nearpod, is that why when we went into Nearpod, the way they put it in, it wouldn't let the paper be big? It was like in the Canvas screen and it was little, and was it not taking them to Nearpod? They were doing it in Canvas, so that's the difference?
Yes, and so if you want them to be able to open it into a big screen, they can. You just have to make sure that that box is checked. Do you see it right here, right underneath where we loaded it? It says load this tool in a new window.
So make sure that box is checked every time, or they're going to have it on a little screen and it doesn't.
If you don't, yeah. So if you don't check it, then they have to stay within their canvas, and it is smaller. And then we're gonna choose. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I had a question real quick.
Sure.
When I was going to load it or embed it, it gave me two options. It said participate live, or it said
student self-paced.
Yeah, so it's, you said
I would choose student self-paced. Of course, you could do this for one of your live Zoom lessons, and you could show it to them this way, or you could put the link to it in your Zoom, you know? So if you're gonna do it live, it's up to you. But if you're gonna have your students work through a module and you're gonna add a Nearpod, you would want it to be self-paced. So even your students who don't access the modules while they're working with you, they can still access it later. So I'm gonna choose the first day of school for our due date. We learned our lesson there. And then in the last group, we discussed that we need to make sure that we even though we have a due date, we want to make the assignments available for 2 weeks after the due date in case students are sick and need to come back and work on lessons later. Once we've done all that, we hit save. And it will load eventually. And this is what your students will see. And so you can see what we were talking about right here. It's gonna stay within this screen. But if you enabled that feature, they should have a little like double arrow here in the corner that they can click, which would make it to where they could send it outside. I didn't click the button, so mine's not here. But you can even preview what the students are gonna see. And
so you would have to tell our students to click that up there if they want to get it to the live screen.
And I would just do it as an overview. You know, when you're just on that first day, you'll see when you get to, and I'll go over it here in our closing, but there's some resources for students, and it may, like, just to survive Canvas. And so you might want to make a little video, or even in the instructions for this, say, remember, if you want it to be a big screen, click on the little arrows, and you can even have a picture of those arrows in the directions so that they would know to do that. I think you only have to tell them once, and then they're gonna remember. And so you can see, you get to preview what the kids are gonna see. And so lesson learned, we don't need to keep hitting new slide because they're coming in as blank slides. So now we know. But I think it turned out super cute. Some good little like icebreaker activities. Okay, so before I go back to our Google presentation, are there any questions on this?
Brandy.
Oh, yes.
I got
okay.
lost.
On Nearpod, as if I remember correctly, aren't you also able to grab a lesson and use it or embed it as well? So say, for example, you did this one, but I don't have two computers side by side with me. So I could just easily go and grab yours and embed it, right? I mean,
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And any of those Nearpod lessons, any of these, when you go and we click submit external tool and you choose Nearpod, anything that's in your library is going to come up. And so even if there was, if I wanted this quadratic formula lesson, as long as I add it to my library, when I go to Canvas, it's gonna know that that lesson's in my library. So even stuff that you've previously created, you'll be able to use. I have, in my library, I had a context clues PowerPoint that I always did with my students. Well, I went and during the, the spring, I just opened it in Google Slides, and then I added where I normally had the kids come up to the smartboard and interact with it. I just added Nearpod features to it, like that, draw it over the slide. So they were still able to do an interactive lesson with something that I already use. So it's a good way to enhance the Google presentations you already have, or like you said, you can choose any of these pre-made lessons and put them in there. And now, before the pandemic, the time to climb lessons were not, you were not able to do those in student pace, and now you are. And it's just that as the students do it, that their friends will be able to see their responses. Did that was answer your question? Right.
Yeah, that's what I kind of remember. I remember you can put it in your library and then kind of upload it that way, I think.
And there's a lot of really good resources that teachers within our district have created and added to that district library. So it's always a good place to check.
So if we, let's say we edit this and we add more stuff, will it automatically update in Nearpod?
Yes. So if you go back to your Google presentation, as long as you, and you have the add, you know, where it said save and send to Nearpod, it's going to send it to your Nearpod. And once it's already linked into Canvas, let's say we linked it right now, and then you go back and edit it, they will get the updated version when they log in.
Okay.
I know. So I never thought about it until that heart training that we did the other day. Like, I'm looking at you guys to talk to you, and I know it looks like I'm looking like at the floor or something. But I'm sorry, I was just talking to you. Okay, so we're coming to an end of our training, like just in time. So just to review, we went over how to navigate in Nearpod, and we enabled that student self-paced, which I think is so important. And then we learned how to embed in Canvas the new way that works with the analytics and the speed grader. So in the chat box, if you can type in 2 things that you will implement this year to improve your student instruction. I think that the brain breaks are awesome. The kids are going to need that. And then Nearpod lessons are great for our struggling students too. And it's an instant, you can instantly see what they're doing. So it's a great data tool for us. Perfect. So the last thing I wanted to remind you about, or let you know about, when you go into our Woodlawn Blended Learning Course 2.0, there's going to be 5 modules. The first 3 modules are the ones from the district that you're going to work through. You'll work through the module, and then there'll be an activity at the end. The last 2 modules, there's not actually anything to do in them. It's just resources for you to provide for your students and for your parents. It's just things that the technology team decided would be beneficial, you know, for the start of the school year that you might want to use. And they're all linked in. So you can copy these links and put them in your course, and then you'll have access to all of these documents. They're not links in this presentation, but they are in the Canvas course. And that's it.
I have a quick question. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry?
I said I had a question.
Okay.
Is Dr. Torres still here? Oh yeah, she is. On next week, since we have the 2 days to build the relationships and stuff, I mean, it's not necessarily building a relationship, but what I'm finding when I contacted my parents is a lot of them did not read the novel sent out by CCISD. And would it be okay to use some of those videos that Brandy just showed us during kind of like a lesson, but it's really more for students and parents? about Canvas, because I feel like if we keep giving them these, go read this, they're not reading it. Like a lot of them that I talked to didn't know that masks were going to be required. One didn't know when school was starting. They didn't know how it was going to work. And I just feel like they're not reading.
Yes, I mean, I think that's definitely what those days are for. And I also know if you're gonna make videos for parents and things like that, you shouldn't make any of them over 3 minutes, because we know that after 3 minutes they stop watching it. So maybe do that as part of your lesson, or you can even have, I mean, the parents are going to be able to see it as an observer, right? So you can have those things listed in there, a whole module that's titled, you know, parent resources, and then be videos from you just saying, like, this is how we go about, you know, these are the expectations from when we return to face and stuff like that.
Tapia, Dr. Tapia, I also put, there's some little Canvas videos on our website. They're just little quick videos that the technology department made. I put that on our website. I also put it on our Facebook. So if the parents want to look at just a little short videos on, you know, this is how Canvas looks, and if y'all come up with anything and y'all say, oh, you know what, Burnside, I wish my parents knew this, and it's a quick video, y'all send it to me. I can put anything on our website or anything on our Facebook. And I've seen that, I noticed that parents, I just keep directing them, go to our website, go to our Facebook, go to our website. So if y'all find something you say, you know what, parents asked me this 50 times, and here's the video, send it to me, I can update it.
Burnside, those are the videos that are listed right now in the blended course, the blended learning course?
Not sure.
Did you say yes?
Tell me what you're asking me again.
The videos that you're talking about, those are the same ones that are listed in the blended learning course that we're doing right now?
Yeah, I think what they did was they took some of those videos and they made like a little sheet with the little tiles, and they just click on which one. It's like parents in Canvas. What I put on there was the parent one, but I can check and see if there's a student one. So if the parents want to get with this, you know, this is for your students. I can put
there is.
Yes, there's a parent one and a student one.
Yeah.
In that same format. I'll find the student one and I'll upload it.
You'll see them when you start the blended learning course.
I'll upload that to our website and our Facebook also. I've already put the parent one on there, but I'll do both.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
And just remember that for all your courses, they need to be published, but don't publish them until after you've updated your syllabus, because the syllabus page for your courses are going to be the new version of how we used to have the teacher's website page. So whatever you put on that syllabus page is going to be your teacher website. Let me make sure that you have that all set up before you publish. Okay.
Okay, last question. This is for everybody. Does anybody know if Canvas translates information to monolingual parents that only speak Spanish?
You can use,
as far as like the written form, or you know what I'm saying? I can't find a program like that translates.
The Snap and Read will translate that for them, but
Snap and Read? And that's on Canvas?
So Snap and Read, it will work on anything. If you'll teach them how to add it to their Google account, to add it as a Google extension, they can use it on anything.
Okay, so Brady, I guess, okay, if that's the case, like Ms. Burr said, will that do like when we communicate with the parents and we send them a message, if they use Snap and Read, will it translate?
Yeah, because all they do is they highlight the text. So if you send them, as long as it's online, right? So if they were in Canvas and you send them a message through Canvas, and they highlight the text and hit translate, it translates it and it reads it out loud.
Oh.
Wow, because you know, with
some wanting to, yeah, thank you for that. I had no idea.
And you know what? I haven't gone and checked it yet, but all of the videos from Tech to Teach are supposed to be posted in their brochure, and there were a few Snap and Read trainings. that maybe there are videos that you can go back and watch.
See, because Dojo did that for us. I would send a message to the parent. They would translate it to whatever language they spoke. They would send it back to me. It would translate it back. So that's what Ms. Burr and I were trying to figure out, like, how do we use that without having to go through Dojo?
So I have to do the 3 trainings again this afternoon for another campus. But after I'm done doing that, I can also go in through the Canvas help search thing and see if there's an even easier way for them to do that.
That would be great.
If I find it, I'll email it out to all staff.
Okay, perfect.
And all of these trainings are going to be emailed out to all staff. It's like one long video. So if you wanted to go back and see something again in this one, or if you think that maybe you want to go back and watch either the other levels, I'm going to email them out, a link to them out probably tomorrow, because it's going to be a long video. So it's going to take it a long time to process.
Thank you, Brandy. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. And if there's anything else, shoot me an email or a text message, and I'm here to help you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Brandy, do we stay on or do we have to log out and log back in?
Oh no, if you're gonna stay on for the next course, for the masters, then you just stay here.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go freshen my coffee.
I know, mine's cold.
Right, well, I started one when we started this, and so hopefully it's not, hopefully it's not like right temperature, right? I'll be right back.
So if we can stay for the next one.
Oh, yes, you're more than welcome to stay.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, that's my spot. No. Mm-mm.
Hi, Brandy.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I have questions for you.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, so my question is on my Canvas, I was trying to create a assignment and then do embed a Google Doc, a Google Cloud Doc, but it doesn't come up on my external, when I click the external to find it. It only has like a couple of things. So why is that?
Interesting. That's what we're doing today in this training.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Okay, so I had to learn how to do this for this. So we're kind of all learning this part together.
Okay.
But what I will do is in the chat after we get through it, they gave us some how-to videos on this, and I'll link them in there. It's Seth from the technology team, and so we'll see if he doesn't have something a little bit more helpful than me, but maybe we can figure it out while we're going through it together.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you. That was my question.
Yes, I did that for that'll be so helpful when you for like worksheets and the example that they give with like the Go Math homework and stuff like that. That's awesome. But we're gonna do a real easy one today since we're all in different grade levels. And I didn't want you guys to have to convert a PDF to an image during the training because this last one is super short. So
okay.
But I will help you figure it out.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I'll give everybody just a few minutes to come back from their break. Some people have stayed on all day, but they still have to go through the beginning of it again. So you have to chime in on our questions again and share if you didn't share before. So that we'll have some new stuff. You guys were like my guinea pigs because I have to do this afternoon with Smith and I don't know any teachers there. So I'm glad I tried it out on you guys.
Scary.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and start. Oh, let me make sure no one's in the waiting room. No, okay. So welcome back to Learning 2.0. This is me again, Brandy Shattuck, and I'm your new ITA. Just remember to mute your mics, sign in on the chat if you haven't already done so. Make sure your camera is on. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat box, but just someone yell at me if I don't, because even though I have it right here, I kind of keep forgetting to look over there. So, how many people have been in, okay, so besides S-Day, who's been in all the other ones? Are you our only person that's joining for the first time?
Yes.
So I'll just ask you a couple of questions and you can share with the rest of us. Okay. Did you see any good movies over the summer?
Well, I watched Jamestown. I'm into that kind of stuff, I guess.
Oh, that's good. Was it good?
Yeah.
What about read any books? Have you read any books?
No.
Okay, I can't remember who it was, but someone from our last group read 10 books already this summer.
Oh my God.
Can you believe
Well, that made me look really bad. But
Yeah,
audiobooks,
like,
does that count?
I didn't read any books either, so.
Okay.
That was crazy. And did you learn anything new this summer?
You put me on the spot. I can't think of anything.
It's okay. I'm just rolling through my questions. So, did you go to did you take any tech teach classes?
Yes, the Smart Notebook one.
Oh, did you like it?
Yes.
I'm such a big fan of Smart Notebook and the Smart Learning Online.
I wanted to go to that one because in my classroom, I was familiar with it, but in my classroom, it would never work for me. I don't know why. It would never come up on the.
It's because I broke it before you got in that classroom.
I know you did, Nicole.
Yeah, that's kind of how I started out with Tech to Teach. I wanted to learn more about the smart, because we'd gotten smart TVs. And so I started going to Tech to Teach to learn more about that. And then I ended up becoming a presenter. But it was like my foot in the door. I really like, the Smart Learning Suite online. They love those quizzes, like the rock and roll and how you can change it. I think that's so fun. Okay. So this is the new checklist. And if you're in this training, that means, oops, sorry, those are like live links. You got to be careful. If you're in this training, that means that you're proficient at doing all of these other items. And you might think there's no way, but if you actually go through and look at the list, you probably are. And so now we're over here working at our master level. We've already all done the survey. Sorry, there's like a really bad lag in my computer. The longer I've been recording the lessons, the slower it's gotten. Not even working. Okay, so a couple of changes that you'll notice when you log into your Canvas, you might have already noticed them, but all of your past courses are now available to you. It used to be that once that went away, that they were gone forever, but now you can go back and get content from your old courses that you can copy and put into your new courses, such as your syllabus and bio and things like that. Let me try and close out a couple of things really quick and see if it doesn't help. Okay, so another thing that's new is the new analytics, and this is how we're going to hold our students accountable. This is how the district is going to hold our teachers accountable, and this is the information that we're going to be sending off to TEA to show that we did engage our students with the correct amount of time during blended learning. You can look at the average grades and then the average time the student spent on that assignment. So let's say that I spent an hour on a certain module, you'll know that I only spent 13% of that hour on this assignment, and that might explain some student grades. You can go in and see if they just were going straight to the assignment and not working through everything. It's a way to hold them accountable.
Hey,
Now we're going to start our master's training. So since you already were working as stay through, you might even be better than us. So, but we'll get through it. So the key thing that we're working on in the master level today is we're going to show you some examples of Google Cloud Docs so that you can get some ideas. We're going to create a Google Cloud Doc about washing your hands, and then we are going to integrate it into Canvas, and that's where you were stuck, right? And so yes, we just practiced that with Nearpod, and so hopefully we can figure out how to get this in there also. So these are some examples of how you can use the Google Cloud Docs. Like this is, these all were PDFs, right, that you can download from. This one's from BrainPop Junior, but this one's from STEM Scopes, right? And so the students will be able to this one, they're dragging the pictures to the box, and I actually watched the video of Seth's lesson on how to do this one. And the way that it's set up is that once they get it there, it's kind of like locked in. It kind of helps guide them. And then down here, they would know that they click here and it's going to be like a text box. But if they click, they can't just click anywhere and be writing anywhere. So I think that's a really good feature of the Google Cloud Doc system. Here's another example where they had to go and type in the names of the country. And these are, because especially now our KN1, we're using Go Math again, and all the pages are available PDF. So all you would have to do, just like with any of these documents, is first you have to convert them to an image, because the Google Cloud Doc works with images, not with PDFs. Just similar ideas. They could drag this on my presentation. It's not, doesn't work, but they would drag the word to match the picture. This is one that's in the blended learning course that you guys are gonna work through. I thought it was super cute. You go in and you know, say things that you like and the percentage of you that's that ingredient. I thought it was fun. And this one, they get to design a t-shirt to reflect their personality, those ingredients that they put on their ingredient list. Okay, so do y'all have any ideas of things that you guys could do with this? You can come off chat or you can type it in the chat box. We're such a small group now, so we can just talk if you want to. I really think for those homework pages, you know, and the STEM scopes, because even though with science, they can work through STEM scopes within the program, it's not always user friendly. And then that's something that they're having to leave Canvas to go do and submit. And then you're going to have to go leave Canvas and find it, you know, and find the assignment. Whereas if they do it within here, it not only is it all the data going to be in there for you, but also the analytics is still tracking them. So I think that would be a good way to do it. This is the, I'm sorry?
Like finding page numbers, because sometimes like our workbooks are like this thick. And it's even hard for like our second graders to be like, okay, turn to page 293, and they're like going the wrong way. So I think like screenshotting like on there and doing it as a digital activity instead is good.
I totally agree. It's like, even though the situation isn't like ideal, it's forcing us to think of some new ways. So I was originally at so I was at Wilson, now it's Cock Wilson. And when they gave us our new building, we all had these beautiful brand new smart TVs, right? And we were used to having the smart projectors and a document camera. Well, you didn't get to bring, so the document camera that we all had, that we had brought from, you know, school to school, and we were all there ready to plug it in, they were no longer compatible with the smart TVs. So they knew they needed to order us new ones, but it took 2 months. So for the first 2 months of school, we had to, so there's not really a whiteboard. And so you had the smart TV. So we had to figure out a way to do it without a document camera. And you know what? It wasn't that bad by the time I got my document camera. I never even used it because it was actually easier to do it through the system. So I think that we're all going to learn a lot of really good things because of the situation. So I don't know if you guys want to screenshot this. Oops. When I send you the video in an email, I will also send the copy of this presentation with it so that you can have the links and things like that. This is one of the PDF converters that the district recommends, but any PDF converter will work if you're trying to take one of those worksheets and then save it as a Google image or as an image.
Like we could do it for the Sharon Wells too, right? The Sharon Wells, I'll be able to convert it.
Yes, yeah. And so for depending on your computer and your savviness or whatever, like I have a Mac, and so I can't show you exactly how it is on most of, because most of you have Windows, but you know how to get the snipping tool? Does everyone know how to do that? Okay, so if you have it to save yourself a lot of time and you have the PDF opened in full view, you could just snip it. And then it's already an image, so you don't even have to convert it. So it might save you a little time rather than saving it as a PDF and then going and converting it to an image. You might want to just try that snipping tool, which is a great way to give directions to. In the last class, we were talking about teaching them how to click that little arrow so that the thing will get bigger. You could snip a picture of that little arrow and then put it in the directions, and then they'll know what to do. So that's the PDF converter. But for today, we're going to just use something that Google's going to find for us. So the way that we do this is that we are going, wait, hold on. I think that I skipped a slide. I moved my thing. It's like all falling apart at the end. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to go to our Google account and open up a Google Slides. Now, you might, for the case of some of those homework assignments and things like that, you might need to go in and adjust the slide presentation from like landscape to portrait. And on that page, it had the dimensions. That's kind of why I want to share it with you guys. I'm going to have to move you guys over here. Okay. So, but for this, you don't need to do that. So what I thought about us creating, because again, we're all different grade levels, all different content areas, and I wanted to find something that maybe we could all use. And on BrainPop Junior, there's like videos and activities that are free about hand washing. So then I thought we could create a Google Cloud assignment about washing their hands that could be adjusted for different grade levels. So you'll want to choose a new blank presentation. Sorry, it's just getting slower and slower.
Zoom always does that to my computer.
It's because the way they wanted us to do it, like one long session. So it's just been, at the end of that heart training, my computer was just like not functioning anymore. So as soon as it lets me click on it, what we're going to do is we're going to change the background. So that's how this basically works, is because you can't just insert whatever you're going to have them write on as a photo. It has to be chosen as the background, and that's how they're not able to move it around or adjust it. So we can go to background and then click choose image. And then when I did this before, I just did a Google image search and I typed in hands. And see, I found one that was like, any of these will work. And then we can say insert. And then done. So my idea was, if you had them watch a video like that, you're going to give them their instructions for the activity in Canvas. So those don't really have to be here, but in our instructions, I thought we could have them, list, how many seconds are you supposed to wash your hands, or give me 2 techniques for washing your hands, or something like that. And then you'll provide the space and then they'll type it. So you don't actually have to have the instructions on this page. You could if you wanted to. And then my other idea was that you could have, I don't know, you'll have to teach them about these features, but there's the scribble tool, and then they could go and like scribble everywhere that that germs are on your hands and why we have to like wash everywhere. It was just something I knew that we could all create. And another tip when I was doing this, make sure you name it something that you're gonna be able to find. So I'm gonna put like hands. I'm gonna put like hand wash 2 because I've already practiced this one time. Oh, but you wouldn't want the scribble already on there, but you'll want them to know how to do that. You could also, depending on your grade level, you could have them add pictures of germs and things like that. I mean, you can kind of do a lot with this, but you'll see that wherever you're gonna want them to put text, that's where you put the text box. Okay, and then it's Google, so we don't have to, you know, save anything, but the one thing that we want to do is make sure that we share it. And you'll want to probably change it to anyone with the link, because we just don't want, even though they should be automatically signed in, we just don't want any parents like Google accounts interfering with what we're doing. So right here, you would change it to anyone with the link. And then
Brandon, I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Okay, so like let's say we're doing this, like the hand washing example, right? And so then the kids are going to draw, you know, whatever question we ask them, like how long should you wash your hands for? And then we put like maybe a multiple choice, like, and then they circle like,
sure,
5 minutes or whatever. 5 minutes is a little long, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then, from like when the next person gets on the presentation, does the person who previously watched it, or what if they're all watching it at the same time? Like, is it a live presentation?
No, so it's no, and I want to take this off because I was confused about that too the first time I did this, because I did the exact same thing. I was like, well, how do they scribble on there? And I scribbled, and then when I went and I made it an assignment in Canvas and I previewed it in Student View, that scribble was already on there because I put it, but they couldn't touch it or move that scribble. Does that make sense? So this is, even though it's a shared document, it'll be like each kid has their own worksheet and they won't be able to see each other's work. They're not all, like when you come back in to your Google account and you open this, you won't be able to see any of their marks on this. You'll be able to see the submissions in Canvas. Okay.
So every time they draw on it, it's just like for their own eyes.
Yeah.
And then when they go to the next slide, it almost like erases it.
Right. So the next kid, they won't be able to see it. Right. It's like having a worksheet that you would hand to each kid.
Okay. And you changed your share to?
I changed it to anyone with a link. I just don't know, and I can get more clarification on that. I just, I've never done this where anyone's actually used it, and so I don't know if their parents were logged into Google, if it's only on CCISD, and then they're not going to be able to see it. You know, I'll get clarification on that though.
So anyone with the link and viewer, right? Not editor.
Yeah, viewer, not it. We don't want them to be able to edit it. Okay. Okay, so now that we have that all ready, it's time for us to open up our, okay, wait, let me go back to our presentation just real quick to make sure we're on track. Okay, so we didn't need to convert ours. We chose a PDF or an image from Google. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Canvas. We're gonna do, if you were in the last session, we're gonna do it the exact same way that we did Nearpod. Because, and I know it's a different way to embed it. There's another way to embed Google Docs, but if you're gonna want it as a cloud assignment, we have to do it by the submission. Okay, so I'm gonna go to our Canvas course. that we've been working on. I'm gonna go to modules. And I'm just gonna stick with my same little, like, this is all the first day of school kind of stuff. So we're gonna hit the plus button. And we're gonna say new assignment. And we're gonna call it, come on. Man, okay. Hand wash. Hit add item. We'll want to make sure that it's published. And you can always publish things at the end, but you know, it's like I always forget. So I like to just go ahead and publish it right when I add it in. And then we'll click on the assignment to edit it. Edit. I'm gonna have to like shut down my computer after this, I think. Okay, and so the rich content editor will open, and that's where you're gonna type in your instructions, like in a box, type in, you know, what song do we sing 2 times to make sure we get all the germs off of our hands, or yes or no, do we only wash the top, the palm side, or, you know, whatever you're gonna have them ask as soon as it opens up. And again, if you have little ones, you don't even have to type in the instructions. You can record a video of you saying whatever you want them to do. And if you were gonna do it with that BrainPop assignment, you could, BrainPop Junior is an external tool, so you could link in the video here, then have the instruction, the question, and then they would get the Google Cloud assignment. So this could be like a whole lesson within itself. I still don't, I mean, if you wanted a grade or not, oh, not assignment, sorry. I would still just right now complete, incomplete, right? Because we're just talking about first day of school activities. And then for submission type, we're gonna click on external tool and then go to find. And then you'll look for Google Cloud assignment. I don't know why there's 2.
On mine, it wasn't letting me scroll down. That was what I was having trouble with. Like, it was like only showing me like the CCISD options, and it wasn't letting me search for like Google Docs or anything. So I was like, maybe
so I tried using that search that was on there before, like at the top when you hit find and it has the search. I haven't been able to get that to work for me. The only way I've been able to do it is scroll down. Were you able to do it right now?
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Oh, okay. So let me know if it doesn't.
Okay, I will.
And so then here's your drive. And that's why I said I would name it something that, you know, because I mean, my Google Drive has like, I mean, it is overloaded. So you can, whoop. So here you could type in so this is the one from today. And you'll select the Google slide and hit submit. Same thing as before. It's going to look like nothing happened, but you still hit select. And you'll want to click load this tool in a new window, because I don't think that they will be able to see and do the features within Canvas. I just think it'll be too small. And then we're going to say that it's due, I'm just going to stick with the same days, the 13th. I'm going to open the assignment that Sunday. and I'm gonna close it 2 weeks or 14 days later. And then I'm gonna hit save. Okay, and so the only problem that I had about previewing the assignment when I did this by myself is that when I click to load this in a new window, it's my account. So it's gonna open our version, which we can edit. So it's a little deceiving because you're like, wait, did I not do it? So do you guys know how to do student view? So from the home page, you can go to student view. I wish it had it on every page because then you could just, you know, check everything that you're doing. And it's just to like make sure I was doing it right. I did student view and then I signed out of my Google account. You guys don't have to do that right now, but just before like the first time that you're gonna, you know, really submit something, you might want to just double check that way. Or if you can have someone, you can invite someone into your course and then that way it won't be your Google account. And so then they can click on the new window, but it still is gonna give you, I mean, it's still your account because I'm sure you didn't log out. So it's gonna be the one that you can edit. I don't even think it's gonna load my computer. It's like so sad. Okay, so here's their assignment and it'll tell you, they whenever they're done, they click on this blue button right here. And that's how, the title of whatever it is that they're working on. And that's how they, that's how it gets turned in. You'll do one of these in your Canvas blended learning course. And that's what I couldn't figure out. I was like, how do I know that it's submitted? Once they click this blue button, whatever they've done on the page is going to, it'll send it to back to Canvas. Does that make sense?
I wanted to tell you, it went, Brandy.
Yay!
I'm doing it on my desktop. Maybe that has something to do with it because y'all are on my laptop.
Oh.
Something to do with it.
Maybe it's like the way that you would need to like scroll up and down, you know?
Maybe.
So it like depending to, so you would have to make sure that your trackpad, that your mouse is in the exact spot, maybe when you're scrolling up and down.
Yeah.
I don't know,
but thank God it did it. It was an assignment that I had created that I wanted to see if it went, and it did. So thank you.
Okay, good. And so then here's their tools. And again, you would want to teach them like how to use these tools before they were going to be expected to do an assignment, but then they would finish it and then they would hit the blue button. And then that's what their submission looks like. It would no longer be like editable after they've finished. I think you would want to like I said, log out of Google, go to student view and try it. You know, like I said, I've never done that. I've never had anyone work on anything that I've made that way. Do you have any questions so far?
Brandy, I have a question about the actual Canvas blending learning that we're supposed to be do.
Yeah,
are we supposed to do all of these modules or which ones specifically? Because on mine it says 3 of them are due by 4:30 p.m. today.
So you're supposed to work through the whole course.
Okay.
And then whenever you get to the assignments, I think one of the assignments is the same for everybody. But
Okay.
2 of the assignments at the end of 2 of the modules, you have options to choose between like what you want to try and do. And so that's what it, like, so that's where like your ninja versus like whatever comes into play. But it looks like a lot to work through. It's especially some of the videos, but a lot of it you can do, especially, so I mean, you guys are obviously already are pretty good at what you're doing. So I think that I lost my train of thought. I think that you'll be able to get through it pretty quickly.
Okay, because I was just wondering, because I have another training today from 1 to I think it's 1 to 5.
And don't worry about it, because you're not the only one. Like the reading interventionists have trainings today too. I mean, there's other people that there's no way that they'll be able to finish it today. I know that they said that they're just wanting it done before the end of the day Friday.
Okay, because I can do it like tonight. I just wanted to make sure if I couldn't have it done by 4:30, it wasn't gonna mess.
Yeah, I mean, that was the feedback that I gave after sitting in on a training. I don't know if I would have been able to sit there and go work through that, because we worked through the course just to see if we found any problems. And it's a lot to take in one day anyway. But I know that they said that you can use your time on Friday if needed to finish it.
Okay, thank you.
The other thing that I wanted to show you guys was, I don't know if I hope I didn't click it too quickly, but right there when we were on the assignment page, is SpeedGrader was right there next to it. Do y'all see that? If you were looking at that assignment, I wish I wouldn't have clicked it. I can go back. So right here's my assignment, my hand washing assignment, and then SpeedGrader's right here. Let's see, it like wouldn't open for me last time. Let's see. While that's loading, I'll show you on the slide. So when you go in and you click to give your students feedback, if you click this button right here, you can, here's all your options. So you can annotate, you can highlight, you can strike through. So even if they were doing some type of writing assignment, or if they had misspelled words, or I mean, anything that even if you just wanted to go write on there really big, like you would do with a marker in your classroom and say, wow, 100. So you can still give those kind of like specific like feedbacks, like they would be like in the classroom. Let me see if it loaded. But I do know that when we get together on Monday and Tuesday, that's something that we're going to go over. And I can even show you guys a course that I know I've had people work on. And so you can actually see what that looks like to grade assignments and what the analytics will look like. I don't think it's going to load. It's just been too long. So I want to, because we're almost done. Okay, so that was basically it. So just remember that it has to be a JPEG in order for this to work, and that we have to embed it not up there in the rich content editor like we do with some Google Docs. It has to be in that submission type in order for it to work like this. And if y'all want to type in 2 ways that you would implement this with your students. And Esty, I don't know if you noticed in the blended learning course that the last 2 modules, you don't work through those. Those are just resources for you to add to your page for your students or parents. And that's it.
So Brandy,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, you.
Typed at you. So like for the Sharon Wells, I would convert it to PDF, right?
No, it needs to be an image.
Oh, so
that's what I was saying. If you just want to do the screenshot of Sharon, that's how I would do it.
The snippet, you mean?
Snippet, or snippet. Okay. And then that way you're not having to convert anything. It's already an image.
Oh, okay, great.
And just make sure that you drop those images into your Google Drive, right? Because that way it'll be easier for you. You'll find them and then you'll have them, right?
And then I just include the text right where I want them to answer.
Just the text box where you want them to work it out.
Oh, great. That's
and then
awesome.
you can even teach them. So for like the problem solving third grade, like I was a stickler about going through and doing the details on the question. They can use that little scribble tool, underline the real part of the question, throw out the trash, you know, they can do that on the question in there. And then you'll be able to see that they understand how to do that.
Wow. And so you would just include the text, or if they want to view, I'm like, what do we want to remove? They could actually remove
Yeah,
it.
they could strike through it.
Put an X. Yeah,
Yes,
put an X.
yeah.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, so they'll still be able to do like all those things, but they'll just be doing it on the screen.
Because I was thinking of the basic facts.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah. Basic. This
sure
would be
that
great
they're-
for basic facts.
They're doing it, because I know they'll have the paper, but will they do it? Will they work on it?
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go
Nicole, did you have a question?
Okay, so I'm still kind of like on the Google thing right now. I tried to go under like presentation mode, like, and I don't see where they can like draw on it. Like, does it have to be a Nearpod draw?
No, but they won't. It won't be in presentation mode when they open. So it can't be in presentation mode to see that scribble tool.
So where is the scribble tool though?
So it looks like a line. Hold on, let me move you guys there. So right here, yours probably looks like a little line, like this.
Uh-huh.
So then when you hold down the arrow, or you click on the arrow, and then you go down to scribble.
Okay.
And so that's how they'll be able to, and they can, that's how it'll make it look like that.
When they open it, I'm gonna have to kind of before that, like kind of show them around like where scribble is.
Right, yeah, that would, I mean, this is definitely something that you're gonna have to like maybe do one like you do it, like an example, and then have them start doing it. That's why I thought, so if y'all are gonna put something like this in place, doing something super simple that, you know, first, and then having them do the other ones so that they'll understand to click on the text box and click on the scribbles and all those kind of things.
Okay, thank you so much.
Really quick. So once they answer, I'll get to view what they have and grade it on their paper, and then I could send it back to them
They'll be able to see your responses in Canvas.
through SpeedGrader, right?
Yes, so they'll click on My Grades it's when they log in. They'll click on My Grades, and by the assignments, there's like, you know, I've never seen it in Canvas, but it's how Blackboard is too. By the grade, there's a little thing that shows that you received feedback, and they click on it, and it can be voice, it can be written, or it can just be typed.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Nope.
There's just so much. It's really good.
I know.
For
There's so
the
much you can do
students-
with this.
For the students login, what was the number? Nicole, remember how last year the Canvas had a number in front of their password? Do we know it?
140.
140.
140 is like our school.
Yeah. Okay. I was trying to remember and I couldn't remember.
No, I know, because even when we like in like remember when we had to log into the computers in school or at Night Station too, it was like our room number and then 140, and I would be like, oh, what is it?
Yeah. I was trying to think last night, what was that number again? 140. Thank you.
Okay, so if y'all don't have anything else for me, I'm gonna we're done. But whenever if it loads in my break before I start doing the afternoon trainings, I'll go ahead and email the video. If not, I'll do it this evening. And I will also share with you guys the presentation. And then I'm get with Kathy about posting it on our hub so that it'll be there all year. And like I said, I also have the two training videos from Seth on this part, because this is a little bit complicated and I've never done it. So if we run into any errors, at least we always have them, right? Okay, guys, y'all enjoy your lunch. Bye.